It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans are back at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park for practice today at 8 a.m. this morning before heading to Tampa Bay tomorrow for joint practice with the Buccaneers. Head coach Brian Callahan will take to the media ahead of practice at 7:40. And, of course, you can hear that right here coming up later on the show. In other news, the Titans yesterday announced a couple transactions making the signing official for safety Joshua Bledsoe, and they also announced the signing of safety Quandre Diggs, who returns to the Titans after spending last season with the club. Diggs started in 8 games and tallied 42 tackles for the Titans before his season ended on injured reserve due to a Liz Frank injury. This will be Diggs' 11th NFL season. In corresponding moves, the Titans also waived outside linebacker Titus Leo and safety Mark Perry. In NFL news, the Los Angeles Chargers are bringing back wide receiver Keenan Allen on a 1-year deal. Allen spent the first 11 seasons of his career with the Chargers before a 1-year stint with the Bears last season. And ESPN and the National Football League are joining forces as the two sides announced a non-binding agreement to where ESPN will acquire NFL Network and certain other media assets owned by the NFL, including NFL Red Zone. The agreement is in exchange for 10% equity stake in ESPN. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Wednesday morning starting right now on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. For the final time in a little while, we are at a Tennessee Titans football practice. High atop the SeatGeek Terrace at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Another practice, and then this team is on a plane down to Tampa for a joint practice for some preseason football, for lots of fun to be had. And we've got lots of fun to be had with you over the next 4 hours here on the program. Rhett Bryan at 7 a.m. Brian Callahan meeting with the media at 7:40. And Titans practice observations as they happen in front of our very eyeballs. Alongside the 11-year NFL veteran, Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster. Kirby Allen Kirby here on site. Justin Hawkins back in Midtown. I'm Will Bowling. What's going on?
Not much, Will. Good morning, man.
Good morning.
Feels good being in the city this early, man. It's breezy out here. And we got more football to speak of, man. Titans never have a day off, even on their day off, Will. They just continue to make moves. And I love the social media back and forth of all things. I didn't get a chance to check out the Netflix documentary everybody's talking about.
I didn't yet either,
SEC story.
so you're not behind me.
Good. So this is we're in it. We're in the thick. I think we got preseason games tomorrow night through the weekend. And you fly out Friday. Let's go.
That is absolutely right. We are looking forward to a very fun weekend. Looking forward to a big practice today after the frustrating weekend for the Tennessee Titans, especially on the offensive side of the football. Ramon Foster, as open as this staff has been about Denard Wilson and the defensive staff throwing the kitchen sink at Cam Ward, partly to prepare the offense for Todd Bowles, for the kinds of looks that Raheem Morris, the Falcons, and the Bucs starting tomorrow are going to give this offense. Can today be a confidence builder? Do you see the defense let their foot off the gas even just 10% today to say, you know what, we've thrown the tests at you. Maybe now it's just time for a couple of pop quizzes.
You may start strategically working on stuff before hitting the road, Will, but I don't see that being the case, man. Training camp, I feel like we minimize the name of it just a little bit, and I'm probably far off in my answer and what I think about this. But I look at this situation like boot camp. Like, you break you down to build you up. I don't know if they're at that point just yet. Now they're still in battle modes the way I'm looking at it. And again, to your point you made a second ago about the teams that got to go do these joint practices with Atlanta and Tampa first in this situation. I do feel like they got to have them prepared. They'll have a pre-practice to go through the small stuff. Maybe today it'll be open script. as opposed to, hey, what did Easton, I think, call it the other day? Bring it or bluff it. Bring it or bluff it. Like, I don't know if you'll get that. It may be more situational where you force Cam into different scenarios, Will, to where all the stuff that he's seen over this last week is a review, and they still have the ability to bring it if they want to, but it's like it may be 2nd and 5 instead, instead of those long third downs or long second downs that he's dealing with. I think the scenarios change, and his ability now to process what he's already seen. I don't think they're going to let up. They can't let up on him, Will, in my personal opinion, until you start game planning for game one against Denver. It's the way I view this one, because there's so much still to take in, and so much you want him to be prepared for too.
It is kind of like putting on a donut when you're in the batter's circle, right before you step in the batter's box, and then when you take that donut off, you can swing that much more quickly because things have been so difficult to swing when you're on deck.
Yep.
That is where this organization, that's where this coaching staff falls in getting Cam Ward ready for week one and for a rookie season where, again, there is no controversy. He is the starting quarterback.
No, absolutely not. The depth chart wasn't an or attached to his name, right? Or slash.
We ain't rowing anywhere. There's no ors.
No ors at all. Or Michael, okay? Or. That's my guy. Shout out to Mike this early in the morning.
You're blindsiding me.
You pick up what I'm putting down in times like this, man.
Always.
I have seen, though, Will, I want to ask you this, man, from your perspective. Fair or foul on the Titans brass throwing this much at Cam? I've seen fans be concerned, why would you try to ruin a guy? Has that come across your mind as it pertains to what they're doing out here with the bring it or bluff it side of this practice?
I don't think ruin is the word. I think it's only a matter of time until he gets thrown in the deep end. So let's go ahead and start that process now.
No doubt.
I think the thing with Cam, though, that I like is he is wired a little bit differently. Yeah. I think anyone who spent time around Cam, the quarterback, or Cam, the person, knows that he can handle it.
Yeah.
That's something that coaches will tell you from starting in youth sports and middle school sports.
Yes, sir.
I won't throw anything at you that I don't think you can handle.
Yes, sir.
And I think, honestly, the fact that the Titans are being so aggressive in throwing Cam Ward different looks and giving him 200 and 300 level challenges instead of just confidence building days shows the level of faith in him that they have that he can handle it.
And that to me is I'm glad you framed it like that.
They're trying to ruin anything.
Coaches know who their players are.
Sure.
I told the story before, like I was almost a punchy dummy to guys over to the left or to the right of me. Coach knew he could yell at me about something and know that the message was to the person to my left or to my right. You get what I'm saying? Or it would be for the entire group or specifically one person, and he speak to the group and not that particular person from time to time, because guys are mentally wired different. Last year, I thought that was the case a little bit. Let's find all the positives, and then we end up like really seeing more of the negatives in the preseason and throughout the duration of the season. This reminds me that somewhat I gotta see what their season looks like. But Auburn. You remember Hugh Freeze was about a week or so ago.
Yeah.
He was asking for his defense, or allegedly the conversation was he asked for his defensive coordinators to make it easy on the starting quarterback in
Jackson
training camp. And I looked at that and said, if I'm a defensive player or defensive coordinator in the SEC and I got to play against Auburn, I want to attack him as much as I possibly can, because your coach just told me mentally you may not be wired the way a tough-minded guy is, or you may fold in those moments right there. It was very interesting to hear him say that out loud like that, man, when we're seeing the total opposite here in Nashville with Cam Ward.
Yeah, that's something Hugh Freeze said this season, actually, and he confirmed it because Dari Noka said Hugh Freeze has been telling other media people, we had to ask DJ Durkin, defensive coordinator, and our defense to make sure practice does not end without Jackson feeling confident. He was asked about that, and he said, yes, I also used to be very adamant that the number one priority of practice is for our quarterback to leave that field confident. I'm going back to that this year. So Steve Palazzolo laid this out for us when we spoke with him in studio Monday. There are two very different schools of thought in the way that you mentor and bring up young quarterbacks at football practice and camp. Do you want them to be brimming with confidence and feeling good about every time they let that football spin off their fingertips, they feel good about where it's going? Right. Or do you want them to see everything on the practice field that you can possibly see? That way when you get out there in a game setting, practice is harder than the games.
Exactly.
I would rather be the latter.
Yeah.
I would rather be more realistic versus, these fake, let's take it easy on our quarterback. Who's not taking it easy on your quarterback? The defense you're playing against on Saturdays in college and Sundays at the NFL. Granted, college coaches going through this a little bit different than NFL coaches. Cam Ward is a more fully grown adult, just as a human being than Jackson Arnold is at Auburn. But I think Brian Callahan is on the right side of it. Now it's up to Cam Ward to take what he has learned and seen from this Titans defense and apply it going forward into his first preseason game.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? I'd much rather, to your point, see a guy be challenged. I don't want to say beat down. Be challenged, Will. Be in a position to where you also see his competitive side come out.
This league is going to beat you down, whether you like it or not.
That's one of the things that I saw from my quarterback, Roethlisberger, was in those moments where the defense was coming at him, you saw that switch turn on. And that's what you're looking for, because I keep bringing up those scenarios, man. It may be a minute 36 and you're down by 5 points in the fourth quarter. What is your guy going to do in those moments right there? On the other side of it, too, Will, I've seen in my experiences at practice where we have young corners. And I'll be quite honest with you. I think the coaches knew the personalities of these guys. We needed them to play. And he would tell us as an offense, well, he wouldn't say it out loud, but Ben would tell us, throw that guy a bone. He needs one today. And you know what happened in the end? I think it hurt us more. I felt like those guys weren't prepared enough to deal with high, intense moments to where they knew in clutch moments that they had to go make a play, or that, yes, there's a world-class guy, Stephon Diggs on the other side of the ball. You got to go cover him. Or it's A.J. Green over there. You got to go cover him. And I feel like you hurt guys in those situations right there if you're trying to do the coddling side of things. Now, you mentioned the best part of it all. Now, Cam, since you've seen everything, you've been a part of this process, if you have the mental fortitude and the playmakeability that we think you do, this is where you take all of that, run those scenarios through your mind, and let the game slow down for you. That's where you're trying to get him to. It's the slow down moment of all the stuff that he's seen so far. So I'm not opposed to it, but I can also understand how some fans are like, no, we don't want him to be downtrodden and questioning himself.
I understand fans wanting to see clips of Cam spinning it, and they want to see clips and hear reports of Cam crushing it. That's not always the best thing for him or for your football team in early August.
Good thing is you're not hearing situations to where you have Tyler Shuck being outplayed by
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah,
now, that's not great.
That's problematic. Well, I think we heard that with Bryce Young in Carolina, where you'd have Andy Dalton outplaying him in practice. You don't have that happening here.
Well, I'll tell you one better. What about the report from Ian Rappaport about one NFC quarterback the Titans are going to see early in the season that just came out?
Talk to me, man.
Ian Rappaport says sources say Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is dealing with an aggravated disc and has received an epidural to help him deal with it. Los Angeles has called him week to week, being cautious, but with plans for him to be ready for week one.
I had one of those.
Potentially a significant development for the week 2 trip that the LA Rams will take across the country to Nissan Stadium to take on the Tennessee Titans.
I had an epidural my rookie year.
Yeah?
I had one. It's scary. Scary as heck, okay?
That's a pretty major injury for him to be dealing with. I know that they've got time, but
at this age,
I'm a Rams fan. I'm very concerned about that.
And to your point, what concerns me, they knew this was a part of that, early on. Then he had takeoff time a couple years ago because of the back issue that he had.
Right.
I thought he was considering retirement in that moment. And now here they are locked in $50+ million because, who was it, the Jets or Giants wanted him this offseason. Like, that's full commitment. To your point, that's not what you want to hear right there. Now, the epidural is based upon how protected his offensive line going to keep him this year.
Commenter on YouTube says Titans will just get torched by the backup. Hey, it's way too early to be that negative. Did you accidentally pour orange juice in your cereal instead of milk? Come on. Beautiful day outside. The sun is shining behind us. The Titans are going to practice on a practice field for the final time in Nashville for a couple of weeks. And we've got a ton of Titans talk for you coming up this morning. 615-737-1045, the number. We stream the show live for you on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. An old friend is back, but why? Titans adding safety help. We'll explain why they did coming up next. Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Visit a locally owned Scooters location near you. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. In the F&M Bank chat, wide open for your comments. If you go to the 104.5 The Zone page on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, our most lively community, Ramon Foster, is on YouTube. That is where we tend to direct the people.
Yeah.
And you can watch us watch practice. I don't think you can see the reflection in our eyeballs of what is happening on the practice field, but you can try.
You can try. I mean,
You're not going to see anything.
You're not. But
it's worth a shot.
We are the shot, man. It is Ramon and Will this morning on 104.5 The Zone is what I'm telling you, man.
Yes, sir.
So, good stuff.
Titans announcing yesterday that veteran safety Quandre Diggs is returning to the Tennessee Titans. Diggs told ESPN's Teron Davenport back in April, "I'm a little older than cousin Cam Ward, but it's always been a dream to play alongside him." Quandre saying back then, "I've had good conversations with them, with the Titans. I know the coaching staff is legit, and being around them last year was fun." Credit to Teron Davenport getting that conversation back then that has aged pretty well. Diggs started 8 games for the Titans last season, 42 tackles before a Liz Frank injury landed him on IR in November. When he was healthy, Ramon Foster, Quandre Diggs played 88% of the defensive snaps for the Titans.
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction to seeing this move yesterday?
I was shocked. Not necessarily shocked is what I would say. Considering his season ended early, he was released this offseason, I didn't know they would come back to him. That's my answer. I didn't know they would come back to Quandre Diggs. Maybe a little bit of his last year and their ability to release him was to see younger guys get an opportunity. Go and draft Kevin Winston Jr., right? They have a youthful movement in that room, but you also have, again, Amani Hooker. You got a young secondary, I think, in general for the most part, or new. And Quandre, for the most part, knows Denard Wilson's defense and how he wants it to be played, too. So, in the end, it made sense because of how the setup of the room is. And there's a little bit more context to all of that, and I'm sure we're about to get ready to talk about, Will.
Well, speaking of aging well and things that have aged well, Quandre Diggs has aged well. Yeah. And when he was healthy last season, Ramon, he was solid.
He was.
He was not one of the older or just kind of over-the-hill players that this organization has unfortunately had over the course of time that just didn't look like themselves. Like, Quandre Diggs was a solid player for this defense last year.
He was. What's fascinating about him, too, I pulled up his PFF stuff just to see what last year looked like for him, man, and I was thinking to myself, well, he got cut early. Was it because of his age, injuries, or play? And I'll tell you this, it was injuries. Mm-hmm. It wasn't because of the play as it pertains to the way PFF graded him. He played over 400 snaps last year. That's a good amount for a guy his age, too. And then the sample size of what he did, too, his total grade was a 73.2. That's in the green. His tackling was an 87.2, which they missed a good bit of last year, man. That's in the blue. That's almost like blue chipper status. What got me into Quandre Diggs' conversation, something that you brought up yesterday, Will, it was the depth at the cornerback position, what he could provide for that, and his coverage skill. He had a bounce-back year from Seattle to the Titans last year at a 70.6, which is very green also. He's checked the boxes of still being able to play the game. And maybe Will, coming in this later, having the ability to miss the most physical part of training camp, because he's still going to have an acclimation period to this thing. I don't know if we'll see him practicing against Tampa or playing in the game either. At this point, with how low in depth I feel or experience the cornerbacks and safeties are, do you even want him playing? Because he knows the defense and what you want him to do. To me, it's a very similar situation. And I know there's a natural hatred in this next context I'm going to give, but what the Steelers are doing. The Steelers brought in the aging, traded for Jalen Ramsey, gave him a pay increase and everything, and just looking and covering what they've been doing. Also, in my podcast, I was having a conversation with my host, and he was just like, yeah, Coach Tomlin's not calling his guys cornerbacks or safeties. He's calling them utility men. And even a guy like Jalen Ramsey, I showed Will a second ago, but Coach Tomlin said they're playing him at corner, they're playing him at nickel, and they're also playing him at safety. Will, he's a natural corner.
Yeah, there's versatility on the back end.
Yeah, and then they also have guys on that team, too, like Darius Slay, who's an older guy who's doing the exact same thing. Juan Thornhill, Deshaun Elliott, these guys are all moving around, probably except for a guy like Joey Porter Jr., but looking into the why. more details was given from a guy, and the only reason I'm giving this information about them is because I feel like the mindset of what Terrell Austin, defensive coordinator, is in Pittsburgh, and Denard Wilson are somewhat similar. Both aggressive guys, both like to get after the pass rusher, and this is what he had to say about it, and something that the Titans dealt with last year. If you cannot cover down the field, or if you're without L'Jarius Sneed this year, you can't go man-to-man, you can't put pressure on the quarterback and get after the quarterback, then you're going to suck. You can't stop the run. And then the other part of it is what something I know that we want to see Denard Wilson do. He gives and want to give pressure and experiment, and you have the guys you probably feel like you have to do that.
Exactly.
Looking at James Williams being able to go up the middle, right? Or this gives the flexibility of a guy like Jeffrey Simmons to move around because you're better on the back end. If you're telling me, according to PFF, and if he's healthy with Quandre Diggs, you have the ability to play more man-to-man or at least lock guys up down the field, then you can send the exotic stuff up the middle, man. And Quandre, to me, I feel like would be in one of those exotic or utility men type of roles for this team.
So what you're saying is extra depth at safety helps cover up the thinness the Titans have at corner.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I think you're exactly right. And I think considering how much we think this defense wants to be in a big nickel with 3 safeties on the field at a time, you need more safeties then to back them up if you feel like you have 3 that are going to start. Like,
exactly.
It's almost like if you were in a 3-4 versus a 4-3, and you're in a 3-4 defense, that's your base.
Yeah.
Well, you've got 4 linebackers in a base set that are on the field at all times. You need more linebackers than you do in a 4-3, where then you need a different skill set. For this defense and for this scheme, the safety position appears to be a very important one.
Yeah.
So it is understandable that the Titans would have added experience and added depth at a position that it is going to emphasize more than a lot of other defenses in this league.
And the way they want to, the teams that they're going to come see, also, you got to think about a team in Indianapolis that just hired a dynamic playmaker at tight end. You have that side of it. You look at what Jacksonville also has with the guys they have at wide receiver and tight end too. Across this entire AFC South, these are the things that you're going to go have to see. And I saw a comment that said that they're deep as heck at safety, and corner is 2 separate positions right there. Very, very true. What I'm getting at is this. You have a guy in Quandre Diggs that's good in coverage. Maybe you bring him into the slot role the same way that Pittsburgh is using a guy like Jalen Ramsey as it pertains to his ability to cover. When you're that older in the league, I would almost guarantee there isn't a position or role that a guy like Quandre Diggs can or cannot play as it pertains to what you're asking him to do in this defense, man. And that's the significant part of why this signing, I think, is so important. You have a guy like Roger McCreary, though, who can play outside slot,
right.
Outside corner in the slot.
You got options now.
You got options now.
I think, honestly, maybe Amani Hooker's the one that gets a little bit closer to man coverage or to being on the line versus deep, because we've seen him do it before. We've seen Amani Hooker be, early in his career, that third safety that would come on the field on third downs and be a big nickel. Now, if Kevin Winston Jr. is fully healthy, I think you like the man coverage ability of a bigger, longer Winston against tight ends. But again, this can be matchup based. On a given day, you could match up Amani Hooker as another nickel backer in the defensive secondary against a wide receiver that you feel like he is a good matchup for. Or you can play matchup games with Kevin Winston Jr. there for when you play Tyler Warren and the Indianapolis Colts. For when you play these bigger-bodied receivers, you feel like you have a more physical player at the point of attack that can get their hands on those guys and keep them from going where they want to go. That's what this is. For a team that has 10 corners on the roster, 7 of them drafted in the last 2 years, veteran secondary players are just that. They're veteran secondary players. They don't have to just be corners to fill an important box, to check an important box of what this team needs, veteran secondary play. Because, Ramon, the backups in the secondary have been beaten consistently by Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle. And the starting defense has been ahead of Cam Ward. There are still concerns about the backup secondary players holding their own or lack of holding their own against these backup quarterbacks. Quandre Diggs gives you the added competitive depth to help make you feel better about your backup secondary as a whole.
And while you also let other guys develop a little bit more, like I bring this up because he's made plays and been running with the ones and twos also, but this is where Gabe Giuliani plays a role here, right? This is where you had him in the slot, or you can put him at an outside corner, depending upon what kind of defense that you're, what you're matching up offensively to defensively. Like, that's what you're giving yourself the ability to. And to me, the most important part is you got a guy that can be good versus the run if you need him to, as far as Quandre Diggs towards the line of scrimmage, and also he has the ability to slow down the ball getting out quick if he can stick to his man. Mm-hmm. We've spoken a good bit, and I think this conversation is going to come up because you have a guy in particular like Jeff, right, who said, I want to go get sacks and get after the quarterback. Here's the thing. As far as the guys up front go, I like them, right, as it pertains to who they are and what they've done in this league. But who's your world beater guy? We've heard Coach Brian Callahan have this statement. They're trying to collapse the pocket. That tells us as listeners and people that follow and cover this team, they don't have a world beater off the edge that can just go win.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like their starting edge is 281 pounds in Draymond Jones. Like, there's a clear intent there that we're not going to go around the tackle. We're going to go through the tackle to get to the quarterback.
And that means you got to have guys on the back end that can cover and slow the wide receivers down to be able to get the quarterback on the ground, or at least be able to put some pressure on
force him off his spot. That way he's running into the guys who have collapsed the pocket.
Yeah, and what do teams do that have – well, I'll say this for the teams that we knew we were playing against that wanted to push the middle of the pocket or squeeze us down, you play the dink and dunk game. Well, that's where these cornerbacks come into play, to where they're not losing as much. You got to think James Williams is new at linebacker. Cody Barton, for as much as he's done, right, that's one thing I am side-eyeing. As good he's been across the middle against Cam Ward and this Titans defense, will this translate over towards the game? So you got to have insurances, man, to as a team to check every box, Will. The same way that they're challenging Cam Ward, you got to check those same boxes on the other side of the ball, and that may mean bringing in a veteran guy like Quandre Diggs that's good in coverage, or at least can be your player coach out there also.
It's a very low-risk move as well. I mean, it makes a ton of sense for the Titans defense. It makes a ton of sense that if he wants to be here, considering the level that Quandre Diggs played at last season, and if he wants to be teammates with his cousin, okay.
That's just added bonus.
I mean, if he's healthy, if he can play, like, it's kind of the way I felt about Jamal Adams last year. Like, what's the risk? If he's hurt and doesn't look like himself coming off a major injury, then he doesn't have to be here for the regular season. But you'd like for him to be, and you'd like to have the ability to make that safety position a strength of a defense that's got a lot of inexperience at corner. It feels like it's a big weekend for this secondary.
Most definitely.
With the passing attack that you're going to see tomorrow for joint practices with quarterbacks Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, and now Teddy Bridgewater, who's now just Tampa Teddy Two Gloves.
Tampa Two.
We'll add a third T in there. The wide receiver depth at Tampa is going to test the backup Titans secondary in a way that they have not been tested yet. Yeah. Because Emeka Egbuka is a rookie proving himself. Yeah. Obviously, Mike Evans we know about. Chris Godwin is still on the PUP list, so he is unavailable. But there are weapons across this entire offense. Jalen McMillan, the second-year receiver out of Washington. Sterling Shepard, who's now 10 years in the league, 32-year-old, who broke Volharts in an Oklahoma jersey with Baker Mayfield in Neyland Stadium when I was in school. But you've got a young Trey Palmer. You've got a rookie out of Oregon and Tez Johnson. You have solid tight end play when you talk about Cade Otton and some of the guys within that room. Like, there is depth in the second line of the depth chart at Tampa that the Titans have on the top line here. And that's not a disrespect to the Titans starting wide receivers. It's a tip of the cap to how deep Tampa is, perhaps more at that position than any other position the Titans are going to see this weekend.
It is. One-on-ones with that group is going to be hot. I know we had Easton Freeze on, and that's one of the things that he brought up before I changed his mind on the O-line and D-line was that group of wide receivers is quality. There will be guys that may not make that roster, or they have to make decisions to keep an extra wide receiver because of how talented that group is. As you said, Emeka Egbuka is running with the twos essentially at this point, man, trying to climb his way up. this is one of the better challenges. I do side with Easton Freeze by saying this group has to grow up this young secondary when it comes to those guys being challenged in a different environment on the road and how they respond. This depth chart, man, brings a lot of anxiety when it comes down to those dudes continue to climb up, or if they slip and fall and find themselves out, Will, when it fully breaks down on how they perform, because this is the performance side of training camp now. You hop on a plane, you go do game-like situations, and you got to perform in those moments right there. So the camera doesn't lie, man. There'll be a lot of adjustments that come from it, but what you don't want to do is go into somebody else's backyard and get embarrassed, especially on the corner side of it, man, when you are a team that, as it stands now, don't have a world beater off the edge when it comes down to sacking the quarterback. And that's no fault other than the fact that you miss on some draft picks, guys didn't develop the way you needed them to. And be quite honest, have they gone for a premier edge rusher?
Titans?
No, they haven't.
No, that is one position that they have kicked down the road a little bit because you can't fix everything in one offseason. I mean, Femi Oladejo, you hope grows into a premier edge rusher, but for someone who has 10 career starts at the edge rusher position in his senior season at UCLA, there's a work in progress there.
It is.
So, yeah, I mean, the Titans had a premier edge rusher in Harold Landry, who obviously later in his career now, coming off injuries, was decent last season, but gets sent to New England. And you got to find one. You hope that guy's on this roster. You hope maybe Draymond Jones can grow into a more significant role after 4 sacks last season in Seattle. But the Titans are waiting for that edge rusher to emerge. That edge rusher is not currently there on the top of the depth chart.
Best thing you said about this signing yesterday with Quandre Diggs was it doesn't hurt you. I would.
There's no negatives to it.
Is slightly above minimum for a veteran. He's in a role where he may end up playing 600 to 700 snaps, which is perfect, man. But if you need a guy like him, he's available for you, and he knows the defense. Well, that's most important.
It's a vet that gives a crap.
Yeah.
I mean, in its simplest terms, you know the kind of person Quandre Diggs is in that locker room, and you know that if you bring him in on a short 1-year deal, he is going to be an asset to the leadership and the development just of the character of your locker room. And that has to mean something.
Yes, absolutely.
At this point of where the Titans are. 615-737-1045. Robert on YouTube says, Baker's injured. I think he may be held out. Baker Mayfield did practice yesterday. Greg Allman, longtime Tampa reporter, putting out a picture saying he is back practicing after missing 2 days last week with a hand contusion. It is the former Tulane QB, Michael Pratt, the one that's dealing with injury, who's not been available. So you expect to see Baker Mayfield, you expect to see Kyle Trask, the backup and former Florida Gator, and you expect to see Teddy Bridgewater, Connor Bazelak, another member of that organization and a member of that team at QB. So you want Baker Mayfield to be healthy for these joint practices. Yeah, absolutely. You want your starting secondary to go up against that.
And I think this is only 1 day of practice, too, against Tampa.
Yep. 1 day tomorrow.
You got to get your all, baby, in that day one.
Get it while it's hot.
You got to get it while. There's no comeback on this one, or no day 2. Which is probably smart.
Well, the day 2 is the preseason game on Saturday night, which you can hear right here on Titans Radio. 615-737-1045 is our number. A Tennessee defender, a Vandy player. I almost said attacker. I almost went into soccer brain a little bit. There's no time for that today. Named to a prestigious list by a national writer. We'll tell you what it is coming up next. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up Hour 1 live from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Within the hour, Brian Callahan meets with the media, and you will hear it live right here as the final padded practice in a couple of weeks here in Nashville begins just after 8 o'clock here at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Rhett Bryan going to join us here coming up in 15 minutes as well, the executive producer of Titans Radio. But Ramon Foster, shifting gears for just a moment, the freaks list is not something you want to be on in life. If somebody says, I put you on my freak list, I don't know if that's any part of what you want to be. Kirby Allen Kirby just double-taked, almost spit out his Pepsi. That's how I'm keeping you engaged this morning. Well, Bruce Feldman does a freaks list for The Athletic every offseason where he talks with coaches. He gets GPS tracking info. He gets miles per hour numbers.
Oh, really?
And he compiles a list, of the freaks in college football who you should know about. Guys who are testing off the charts. Well, there are 2 local players on this list. Starting with Smyrna's own Arion Carter on Bruce Feldman's freak list. Bruce Feldman writing at The Athletic, the 6'1", 235-pound junior had a breakout season in 2024, leading a stacked defense with 68 tackles to go with 6.5 TFLs, 1 pick. The junior linebacker, a team captain, is a more explosive athlete than most running backs. Listen to this. Former 300-meter hurdler in high school, Arion Carter from the Smyrna Bulldogs, 40.3-inch vertical. He hit 21.2 miles per hour on the GPS and bench pressed 325 pounds. Big season for Arion Carter this year in Knoxville.
Arion getting to it, man. You see it. I think he's had a little bit of a cleanup this spring, so his body's well rested. And last year I thought he had a solid season. Then as a young fella, man, I'm always these young terms. As a young fella, when it comes down to like how he played, you saw the immaturity when in his play from time to time. But this, to me, I'm very high, Will, on him this year. You know, I've spoken about him and T-Lander, man, 2 guys that's played a whole lot, and specifically Arion. I'm looking, to be quite honest with you, a guy like him to jump to the NFL this year. I see him at the lowest, man, a second-round draft pick. If he's second or third, I think he goes just because of how much more growth he has. He's a young, age-appropriate guy, man, when it comes down to him and his level of play and how much more maturity he has. The speed is off the charts, and he's intense and smart about what he's going to do too, Will.
It feels like he is a very vocal leader on that defense as well.
Yeah, no, he is. You're around
He's
him.
the guy.
Him and T-Lander, man, I've said this has been my one thing. When teams are good in college specifically, I know the linebacker position is minimized a lot when it comes down to the NFL.
And I don't think it should be either.
It should not be.
Right.
Look at Cody Barton here. But in college, when you have those guys, I know Georgia has a duo of them too. Tennessee's in that same conversation, man, with those linebackers. Texas, I think UT does. You hear that? Texas, and I think UT does. Georgia has a nice duo, and A&M also. LSU's always sprinkled in there, too. Tennessee's in there because of what I think of Arion Carter and the experience him and T-Lander have.
Well, and he's the leader on the defense that you feel good about helping that team deal with the foolishness that has been Boo Carter this offseason.
Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, this is what your in-state, homegrown leaders are supposed to look like on the defense.
Yes, 100%.
Boo Carter, a full participant in practice yesterday from what we heard as well. So hopefully that's behind us as well. But again, Arion Carter, linebacker position, you feel good about what you have there. There's some youth behind the starters, but that's just life in college football in 2025 at most every position.
Well, we've heard good stuff about those young guys at linebacker too, man. But they got to sit. This is a physical league in the SEC. One or 2 of those young guys are going to have to play, whether it's Perlotti or a group of others, man.
Jaden Harmon.
Jaden Harmon's another one. So
sure.
they got a group of guys that's got experience, that's been there, that's waiting on their opportunities too.
Eli Stowers, Vanderbilt tight end, also on the freaks list of 101 players from Bruce Feldman of The Athletic, the former 4-star Texas A&M quarterback who is seen by many as a potential first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, leading Vanderbilt last season with 49 catches for 638 yards and 5 touchdowns. Was excellent against Alabama, 6 catches for 113, 6'4", 235, a Texas 6A state high jump champion who broad jumped 11 feet 3 this offseason. That's up 5 inches from last year, according to Bruce Feldman, to go with a 39-inch vertical, 21.43 miles per hour, Ramon Foster, on the GPS. And Eli Stowers, the Vandy tight end, has power cleaned 360 pounds.
That's the ultimate test right there for explosion.
Future NFL tight end.
That is, Will, the most just obvious way to gauge explosion. The power clean, 360 on power clean. I don't think people understand how much that is to pull from the ground and snatch it underneath your arms and stand up with it. That says a lot about Stowers, man. Shout out to him. He's got the perfect quarterback also. That's going to feed him the ball. Like, you be idiotic to not have him have at least 800 yards this year at the tight end position. He could almost be on the team for Vanderbilt, just not knowing the full cast of characters as wide receiver one with how you employ him to play in that offense, man. He's going to have very friendly with Diego Pavia is the way I look at this relationship this year.
It's Eli Stowers, it's Junior Sherrill, and then it's question mark at Vandy.
There it is. And that's your answer why he will probably end up being a first-round draft pick. At a minimum, second round if nothing crazy happens to him this year.
We stream the show live for you on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. The F&M Bank chat is wide open for your comments and interaction and discussion. Coming up next, the executive producer of Titans Radio, Rhett Bryan, prepares you for Titans and Bucks. Prepares you for a Wednesday practice. You're live from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Hour 1 down, 3 more to go. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone.
It is 6:59. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans are back at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park for practice this morning at 8 a.m. before heading to Tampa Bay for joint practice tomorrow with the Bucs in their first preseason game Saturday night. Head coach Brian Callahan will speak to the media ahead of practice at 7:40, and you can, of course, hear that right here coming up later this hour on the show. In other news, the Titans announced yesterday a couple transactions making the signing official for safety Joshua Bledsoe, and they also announced the signing of safety Quandre Diggs, who returns to the Titans after spending last season with the club. Diggs started in 8 games and tallied 42 tackles before his season ended on injured reserve due to a Liz Frank fracture. This will be Diggs' 11th NFL season. The Titans also waived outside linebacker Titus Leo and safety Mark Perry in corresponding moves. In NFL news, per Ian Rappaport this morning, Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is dealing with an aggravated disc and has received an epidural to help him deal with it. Stafford is deemed week to week, being cautious, but the plans are for him to be ready for week 1. The Titans and Rams meet in Nashville for week 2 for the Titans home opener. And ESPN and the National Football League are joining forces as the two sides announced a non-binding agreement last night to where ESPN will acquire NFL Network and certain other media assets owned by the NFL, including NFL Red Zone. The agreement is in exchange for 10% equity stake in ESPN. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 2. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Scooters Coffee that is locally owned in Middle Tennessee. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. We, amazingly quickly, have already happened upon hour 2 of your Wednesday morning. Live from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, high atop the SeatGeek Terrace. I forgot how to English. Po Buddy's Nerfix this morning. Ramon Foster, Kirby Allen Kirby, Robert Walsh, joined by Rhett Bryan. Good morning.
What we're hearing. You had the wrong emphasis on the syllable.
Yes, the emphasis on the wrong syllable. That's right. That's right.
Oh, man. When you said Mount Juliet, mentioning Scooters Coffee's locations, I was just thinking about that. I think it was Project 615 or one of those local T-shirt companies. I can't remember which one. But they had a T-shirt out a few years ago that says, I climbed Mount Juliet.
Hey.
And I think the same company had that piece of architecture and art right down by the river. By the bridge building right there, by the Cumberland River in the stadium.
That's fantastic.
It said, I rode the Cumberland River roller coaster.
Well, there it is. Yeah, I see
That's
the
so
T-shirt.
random.
I climbed Mount Juliet.
That's awesome right there. That's good stuff.
That is some random stuff. You can tell it's 2 weeks into camp. I'm punch drunk.
Exactly.
But, hey, we're feverishly putting together the broadcast for Saturday night. We're on the air at 5:30, kickoff at 6:30 with Taylor Zarzer.
That's right.
And Coach Mac Dave McGinnis and Will Bowling on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Lucas Panzica at Network Control. So anyway, we're putting the hay in the barn, as they say.
It's a good
exciting
time, man. It is. I keep teasing them on the show, man. It's like, and you'll be down there, Will, just because it's fun, Rhett, man.
Just light them up.
I got to, man. I got to light them up, man. It's fun. I promise you will enjoy it. The way the NFL puts it together, man. Even in the preseason games, you're gonna see it's a dry run for them. It's serious. They got the facial ID stuff everywhere. It's so fast. So you put your face in there, and it goes. It check you, or hey, don't get denied, Will. Is what I would tell you.
Okay, sounds good.
But it's a race to get down and up to the field, man. It's a cool operation, but everybody inside those stadiums are very helpful. And just being on the sideline in general is just, you've done it before, but it's super cool to watch the show.
I'm just focused on putting people and furniture between me and the football at all times.
That is the most valid piece of advice. Was it Amy Wells gave you that advice?
That was the first thing Amy told me. People and furniture.
The other part, too, and it's what we talked about last week with Biggs, who he didn't even realize because when he was playing, but halftime's 13 minutes from the time they're walking off the field.
Real quick.
It goes fast. Okay. So, we're not asking you to do anything at halftime.
No.
So that's your restroom break.
Perfect.
But, I would find the facilities and take care of business. So
I love it. Good stuff. Rhett, what do you want to see today? Final practice that we're going to see in Nashville for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
A joint practice tomorrow with Tampa. Not as long of a practice session today with that in mind, that you've got a full day coming up tomorrow. But what's the number one thing you're looking for today?
I think I'm looking for some of a lot of things that Brian Callahan's looking for. It's clear when all of a sudden there was another padded practice added last Friday and went 3 straight days in pads, that he has not been completely pleased, or however you want to phrase it, of how this has gone. And look, the defense, when you put on the pads 99 times out of 100, maybe 100 out of 100, they are going to have the edge.
Yeah.
It's just the way it works, and it's in any camp, anywhere. But I think there's things that he's looking for, and I think, if to answer your question, some continuity, some consistency. And look, the other part of this is training camp. This is where you can make mistakes and it not cost you. It's repeating those when you come to the September the 7th in Denver and beyond. But I just want to see some consistency. And the other thing I'm looking for is this is the beginning of this window of 10, 12 days where this team is going to have to do some growing up. And it's designed that way by, planning back-to-back road trips, back-to-back joint practices that lead up to preseason games that are on the road. And I think it will be helpful because when you're out there on the road, all you have is each other. You're not at home. You can't go sleep in your bed. You can't, go see your wife and kids or
Deal
whatever.
with a roommate that's probably snoring all night.
Sounds like you got some personal history.
May or may not have been me. Who knows?
Okay.
You were the snoring
I was
roommate.
already asleep.
But the thing is, that is one of the reasons why the Steelers have gone to Latrobe, Pennsylvania for forever.
Yeah.
And why the Cowboys go to Oxnard for forever, because that is the melding together of a team. Because when you walk out of the tunnel to go play 60 minutes of football, all you got's each other anyway.
That's it, man.
Nobody else is coming to save you.
It's going to be super unique, like you said. This 2 weeks on the road thing, this is like baseball stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, NFL teams always come back. There are some West Coast teams that stay, like this, but the Titans aren't in that position, or hadn't been as of recent. But you bring up a great point, Rhett, when you look at this group coming together now. You remember we spoke about this like being like an Army, Marines, or, Navy, like boot camp. There's the breakdown component of what this is also. There's the battles, the fights, the hard days, the coaches being ticked off at you because the practice was way less than. And Will was asking earlier, when do you start pouring into Cam and the others? Like, it starts when you first take that first plane flight. You get to know each other, the operation of it, and then you see, okay, as a team, like, players do have the realization, this guy can help us, that guy can't help us, or you be better suited on this team instead of that team. Like, there's a lot, Rhett, that you're going to learn over these next 2 weeks by being, to be quite honest with you, very uncomfortable in your settings moving forward. This is as unique as you can get it without it being away at a college somewhere doing training camp.
No, and that's what it's designed for. It is, when you think about the massive turnover that this team has between free agents and obviously, 9 draft picks and all the undrafteds, it's a massive turnover.
Yeah.
They have to have time together more than just this padded practice and things to be able to form bonds, relationships, learn who your teammate is. And it's, it's one of the reasons why proactively Brian Callahan did that 8-team competition, keeping up with points, divided up the locker room. It's not by position group anymore. It's like, you're going to get to know your neighbor.
Teammate.
But I'm a quarterback. I don't care. Your neighbor's a safety.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be
Unless
fun.
you're Quandre Diggs and Cam Ward. You're already
should know each other.
knowing each other.
What was your initial reaction to that yesterday? Quandre Diggs coming in. You got to feel pretty good about the depth of this safety position and the different ways and different chess pieces Denard Wilson's got.
I like the signing just because it's a bolstering of that position. Joshua Bledsoe, who was with New England for a bulk of the time out of the University of Missouri, has experience. But Quandre Diggs has experience here, as you note. And I think, what is it, a groin injury I think he had?
Liz Frank injury.
Oh, it was?
Diggs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And those things, man, you're talking about 26
Just
bones in your foot.
Right.
Man,
and one of those is – and you don't realize how much you need your feet till you –
until
can't
it's
have the
injured.
full use of it.
I can tell you, or stub it on the corner of a table.
Oh, that too. Or step on Legos in the middle of the night.
Bring back harsh memories there.
But, Quandre knows Denard Wilson's defense, so this should be an easy transition for him. But I think it's a chance for him to go, hey, I got robbed of some time here.
Absolutely.
Because of the Liz Frank. And I'm looking forward to adding to this. And hearing you guys talk in hour one, 104.5 The Zone podcast, go get them. It's a luxury at that position, to your point of a guy that can play 600-700 snaps and know he's going to hold down the back third of that thing. And the other thing it allows is a growth period for Kevin Winston Jr.
It does. Yeah.
Because we've seen Kevin start to escalate things as he gets this deep into camp with things that we've seen on the practice field. And, he is still coming off of a knee.
Yep.
Hadn't been quite a year. Be a year next month. And it just allows for him a chance to continue to learn how to be a pro from both Amani Hooker and Quandre Diggs and give him a chance to hit a growth spurt and also buffer the rookie wall, which is real.
It is, man. Those reps, especially towards the latter part of the season, get real. We spoke a little bit yesterday, man. When you look at the schedule, Rhett, there is no real break, to your point. Like, every team that you're going up against, it's the NFL in general, but some teams a little bit less than. I don't know if there's a bad squad that they're going to face this year that at least won't be competitive or challenge those guys, especially when it comes down to the secondary, when it comes down to the rush up front. Quandre is good in his zones and his coverages and also in his knowledge that at least allow the guys up front, Rhett, to get after the quarterback a little bit more so he squeeze that pocket down, man. That is going to be crucial for this team, man, that the front end and the back end of the defense work hand in hand.
Well, and let's take it a step further. You get a padded practice under your belt with Quandre Diggs today with whatever work involved. I don't know if they ease him in or whatever. We're going to find that out.
Yeah.
But it's the perfect time as you're going to Tampa this afternoon, and tomorrow you see the likes of those wide receivers that the Buccaneers offense has, which, as Mac would say, are not empty chairs at all. One of them's going to have a gold jacket one day, and Mike Evans. So a perfect time to lock down the third level of that defense and have another communicator there to see what's developing in front.
Man, Quandre's picked the perfect time, too. Here he is, man. Come in late, get an opportunity, know he's going to have a job.
Pads go straight on.
And then he takes a trip. Like, that is the perfect way. That's why vets wait right there,
Gets
man.
to be on the plane with his cousin. The first time his cousin plays an NFL football game in preseason.
And as we saw in Denard Wilson's defense last year, Amani Hooker was the mainstay at that safety position. The other one was on a rotational basis and working in 2-3 different guys. So Quandre Diggs already knows what's asked of him in this. To your point about getting, if you can get 600-700 snaps out of him and get another 500 out of Kevin Winston Jr. or whatever, he knows what he's up against today and going forward.
Yeah, we got a comment, too, saying, I hope that doesn't give Winston Jr. less time to get in there. Brian Callahan's been open that there is a process for Kevin Winston Jr. to not rush him straight off of an ACL injury into full work. So I don't think it's a matter of a player being here is going to stunt Kevin Winston Jr.'s growth. Rhett, it just feels like there is a process and a plan to not give Kevin Winston Jr. too much too quickly because of the injury he's coming off of.
That's a big one. And here's the other thing. Was that on the F&M Bank chat?
It was.
All right, let me say this. Don't mistake that group and the third level for what is going on the second level of the defense. Because we've had conversations about, do they sign a veteran linebacker to help James Williams, Cedric Gray, and Connor
Absolutely.
Barton.
Yep.
And it stunt the possible growth of Williams and Gray,
Right.
that would be by necessity.
Yeah.
But both Williams and Gray have shown enough so far. Don't think that's going to be an issue. This is where, and again, neither one of those guys are coming off of a major injury. Like Cedric Gray had the shoulder, but not a lower leg
First
thing
half
or whatever.
of the season.
Right. And so it's a little different situation in this. And you have to keep in mind the track to come back from that knee injury that he had at State College back, last September. Yeah, they got a plan for him. And let me say this. Let me back up and say another thing. Believe me, they have a plan for him because he has been seen out here in different formations and lineups and all those things that show his arc going upward.
Coming up with Rhett Bryan, more discussion on the final Titans padded practice in a couple of weeks here live from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Brian Callahan going to meet with the media in just about a half hour. We will carry that live for you right here on the show. But coming up next, what is the position battle Rhett Bryan is most interested in this weekend as camp heats up, a preseason game takes place, and a joint practice hits the field at Tampa Bay against the Bucs next week? We'll discuss that and more with the executive producer of Titans Radio, Rhett Bryan, with us live from Titans training camp on Ramon and Will.
Listeners sometimes ask me, man, what makes advanced hair restoration different? Well, allow me to share. It starts with their once-a-year summer savings event. Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. And Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's summer savings event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever, okay? For details and to schedule your free consultation, the number you should call is 629-348-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Again, the number is 629-348-HAIR, or visit the website at advancedhair.com.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. When it comes to ensuring clean air in your home, Lee Company delivers. Their award-winning team provides thorough whole-home duct cleaning services that eliminate dust, debris, and other allergens from your HVAC system. The result? Improved air quality, enhanced system efficiency, and peace of mind. And even better, Lee Company is offering 10% off a whole home duct cleaning for a limited time. So why wait? Schedule online at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com for their duct cleaning services. I love working with local businesses who have called Nashville home for quite some time. And Lee Company has done exactly that for over 80 years. The best people, the best hours, 24/7, 365. The moment something's not working, Lee Company will be out there quickly to help you out. 615-567-1000 is the number to call, or you can go online to leecompany.com. Take advantage of their duct cleaning services as summer changes to fall. That's Lee Company, all you need. Wednesday morning rolls on. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Whole crew here, live from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Blue skies overhead. A perfect morning to be talking some football here with you. Glad you're with us. Rhett Bryan here at the table as well. Brian Callahan going to speak to the media in just about 20 minutes. We will carry that live for you here on the program.
Bringing us back with the seal cover of Fly Like an Eagle.
Look at Hawk, man.
I like it.
Seal Henry Samuel.
I like it. Rhett, when you look at this team matching up with Tampa, you look at the stage of camp that we are in. We have an unofficial depth chart. We have a preseason game Saturday. What's the most interesting position battle for you heading into this weekend and heading to practices against the Bucs?
Can I have two answers?
You may.
Okay, good. I mean, obviously, how all the log jam at wide receiver works out, I think we know who the first three or four are, or at least have an idea. And how does the rest of that work out? But for me, the real answer that I'm fascinated by is who's the third offensive tackle.
That's a great one.
Because they have had numerous rotations with the twos in regards to that. And I'm talking about, I mean, it's been – now, one of the mainstays in that is John Ojukwu has been wherever in that mix, usually in a lot of those reps. But a combination of him, Jalen Duncan, Oli Udoh, and then my not-so-under-the-radar player of the day in Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon. You have seen those guys work through a bunch of emanations of who could be the third swing tackle for the team. I'm fascinated by what that is just because of the importance of what it is and who that could end up being. I know that's a place near to
It is. That's why I was going to jump in right there, though, too, because you look at Crenshaw-Dixon, Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon, and you look at a guy like John Ojukwu. I'll be honest, I feel like Jalen Duncan's really helped himself so far, right?
He has.
He's been more sturdy. His finish has been there. Well, you mentioned the cornerbacks and the wide receivers going down in Tampa. Like the role for him and Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon and John Ojukwu, would you call that your trio right there? Of guys that are battling for tight end, for tackle three for the most part, or at least a roster.
Oli Udoh.
Oli also is in that conversation. If I discount anybody else that deserves it, man, hopefully they're not listening. But
you get ready for practice. You're fine. Say whatever the heck you want.
I know you're right. They should be getting ready right now, listening to some trap music or something. But when you mention that group, man, as much as we've spoken about like Mason Kinsey and how he won't go away, John Ojukwu's in that realm now. You know what I'm saying? Like he continues to be extra tight end, find himself in a position where he's helping on game day, right?
Well, let me say this. One of the things that, first of all, he's a smart guy. He is like a sponge trying to take every information rep and thing valuable to him to help this team. He's taken advantage of. Last offseason, going into the 2024 season, there was a handful of players that they basically gave caveat to every resource they could possibly invest in if they'd stay here and do the work. And many of those did. One of those 7 or 8 players was John Ojukwu. And it was noticeable because when 2024 started this time a year ago, you're like, he looks different.
Yes.
He's put on some functional strength. But the thing is, just talking to him coming off the field the other day, he's like, I said, man, I see you out there working at RT, LT.
Yeah.
Well, he goes, man, I'm waiting for them to try me at guard. He said, let's just,
honestly,
he said, I'm up here for whatever. And, I know it's going to be fun. It's going to be a challenge. Like he just didn't lose his cool.
No doubt.
But, he's one of the mainstays in all of this. And Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon is somebody that, certainly keep your eye on. And
high upside, it seems.
Yeah, and when you give what is, loosely called a preferred free agent, the reported $265K to get here, that's an investment in this. But you think about his pedigree coming into this. He was an East-West Shrine Game participant, went to the Combine, so transferred and joined the Florida Gators in the spring semester. of 2024. Appeared in all 12 games that season, garnered 11 starts, logged 685 snaps at right tackle with a pass block grade of 81.1 per PFF, and has led the team twice in highest PFF offensive grade, along with allowing 0 sacks individually. And that's going from San Diego State to the SEC, and thinking about all the quarterback issues they had with Graham Mertz going down with an injury and DJ Lagway in and out. And it's pretty decent when you think about that. And just looking through what, like, here you go. When he played against the Vols, when they were ranked 8th in the country, 5th straight start at right tackle, total a season-high 72 offensive snaps in that game, earned a PFF pass grade of 81.5, good for his 4th game of 80 or higher, pitched in season best with a run block grade of 76.2, offensive grade of 80.3. Those grades were game highs in the Gators offense.
Solid. And that's a pretty good Tennessee defense he was going up against that day, too.
But the thing that is, that you think about in this is, listen, he had a nice career at San Diego State, but he moves east, goes to, San Diego State, but the big leagues in college.
No doubt.
And then you hold your own there.
It says a lot.
There's something to that. And that's just why, watching number 78 is interesting in this. But, yeah, I'm very, very interested, for obvious reasons, protection of Cameron Ward.
No doubt.
As to who the swing tackle is.
Well, and he, too, Rhett, is a get-off-the-bus guy. He is the longest tackle that the Titans have, listed at 6'7", 316 pounds. He is, on paper, the tallest and longest tackle the Titans have on the roster. I think coming into camp, Rhett, you felt like Blake Hance, although he was filling in at times at guard for Kevin Zeitler, who was out for a lot of the mandatory minicamp stuff in the building, just not on the field. You felt like Blake Hance was maybe a temporary guard, but your swing tackle on paper. I don't know if I feel that way anymore, because I feel like you've seen so much growth from Jalen Duncan and John Ojukwu in individual periods, winning in their one-on-ones, in the team periods, holding their own in the run game. I mean, the twos have been like the ones, Rhett, in that the Titans are busting some big runs against the defense here at camp. And that's one area where the offense is excelling, in part because those offensive linemen, as a unit, collectively, who were here last year, just look a lot better this year.
Well, and let's take it a couple of steps further in this. Blake Hance, unfortunately, has missed the last handful of practices. I forget what his injury is. I don't remember if Brian Callahan mentioned what that was.
Right,
but
nothing significant.
Here's the other part of it. They've been beating and banging on each other for 2 weeks. The real test is coming tomorrow and going forward. Because, again, Tampa's got a defensive front. You want to see Vita Vea crash the middle of that pocket?
Dog. I'm telling you. Kalijah Kancey?
Right. They've got options there.
They do.
So the real test is coming. And, again, it goes back to what we said in the first segment. Zone podcast. Go get them. This is where this team is going to have some marked growth against someone else, which is what they're going to be doing 17 weeks coming up, is against somebody else. And no, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking away what you've observed.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been some growth in that area, but now it's time to see it against some legitimate competition. Not that the Titans' defense isn't, but
you know what counts more.
And there's certain caveats that they can't go crash anyway. there are things in place.
Sure,
but yeah, in this deal, this is against some people that they're going to see not only in the preseason, but this is going to be a simulation of what it's going to be like.
I'm with you. I like it. I mean, I think it is going to be interesting to see, Rhett, from the offense perspective, how Cam Ward fares against a defense that isn't sitting on things they've already seen. Like, going back to mandatory minicamp and going back to June, Cam had for me, more success quickly than I expected against this defense. We've heard Cody Barton say, he got that on me yesterday, so I kind of changed up what I was doing a little bit today. because he's seen it before. Well, you only have one practice with Tampa. There's not going to be a reaction day on Friday after you practice on Thursday. That's going to be an easy day ramping down to ramp back up for the preseason game on Saturday. I think there is a level of success that Cam can have just against a defense that doesn't really know what to expect. He doesn't have tape. He doesn't have practices against them that they can go off of.
Well, your best players that are the professors in the University of Key and Diagnose and reading directional delivery keys and all those things will be the ones that will pick up on that. But, yeah, it's a small sample size for you to rinse and repeat. But the thing is, it's at their place.
It is.
They will film that practice just like the Titans will, and they will be able to study that before Saturday's contest. So they'll be able to try to look at to see if there's any tendencies or whatever. But, look, this whole thing where we're about to head into as we get to the real ramp up towards the regular season is the operation of the offense.
Yeah.
And can Cam do it cleanly and consistently? That's what you're asking for any quarterback, but certainly in his position.
Also, the competitive side of this thing. So the unofficial, and I emphasize that part of it, depth chart, okay? Josh Wiley's somewhat slipped. This is a bigger opportunity for him against somebody else to improve himself too, Rhett, because they got Gunnar Helm at tight end too. The challenge in that group, Rhett, is still very much open, man, with David Martin Robinson and also Thomas Odukoya also, man. This is not done, Rhett, with this group.
No, it's not. And I think the other part of it is who is the person that leans into the more traditional wide tight end that's the inline blocker, because a lot of these dudes coming out are just big wide receivers. I think Gunnar Helm has a propensity to do some things like that, but I think they have – I've been saying it all offseason. I think they have a plan for him as a red zone threat, but just because of his reach, catch radius, wing, and his big frame. And look, let me go back to something else. I wouldn't put so much stock in unofficial depth charts. It's things for us to talk about, but it's not the gospel. And there are some things positionally you're like, that seems kind of interesting. And, of course, we don't know what the criteria is for them to put that together. But, there's a log jam there. Josh Wiley has had his issues with concussions. And, this is the essence of training camp. There's 91 guys here.
Right.
There's only going to be 53 by the time it's all said and done, whether you get to the initial roster or the final roster that you get to when you're playing week 1 in Denver. And so the numbers are going to have to work themselves out. That's why this next 10, 12 days is so important in showing what you can do.
Rhett Bryan at Titans Radio, our guest, Titans and Bucks, Saturday nights from Tampa. Looking forward to it. Appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely. Enjoy the visit, gentlemen, and let's get this practice underway and then go to Tampa.
Let's do it. Coming up next, Brian Callahan meets with the media. You will hear it after this.
Two Rivers wants to tell you about Zero. That's right, Zero as in zero money down, zero payments for 90 days, and 0% financing for 48 months on most models, man. Oh, and zero on regularly scheduled maintenance because Two Rivers Ford is throwing in a 2-year complimentary maintenance plan. Yes, it's the Zero Summer Sales event happening right now at Two Rivers Ford. And at Two Rivers Ford, their salespeople don't work on commission, which means there's zero pressure when you're shopping for a vehicle. Two Rivers Ford, you'll also get zero surprises because they are honest and transparent all the time. They are A-plus members of the Better Business Bureau, and they've been family-owned since 1983. What you see is always what you get at Two Rivers Ford, which is why Two Rivers Ford is the South's most trusted Ford dealer. So go to Two Rivers Ford for the Zero Summer Sales event today because the sale ends September 2nd. And be sure to tell them that Ramon sent you.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high-interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Will Bowling. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That is a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours, so use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Their service is off the chart. So call now to start the conversation. 615-499-5780. Online at loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780. 5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Hey, listeners, it's Ramon Foster here, man. I was done with mosquitoes ruining my backyard, and I found a solution, man. Let me tell you about Mosquito Max from All American Pest Control. All American's Mosquito Max is your one-stop proven solution for both mosquitoes and year-round pest prevention. You can save money and say goodbye to the itchy bites, man. All American's Mosquito Max include a monthly mosquito misting, spiderweb removal, and perimeter pest control around your home. So make the change and finally enjoy your backyard. Don't let mosquitoes ruin the rest of your summer, man. Go to yuckbugs.com. That's yuckbugs.com and make the switch to All American Pest Control today.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone, Wednesday morning. Already almost to halftime of your Wednesday program. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling, Kirby Allen Kirby present and accounted for. Brian Callahan going to meet with the media in a matter of seconds, so lock in. Turn those radio dials up a little bit more, the volume on your radio a little bit more. What do you want to hear from the coach today, Ramon Foster?
I think you got to start with culprit A, right? Plan for Cam. What is he trying to work on the day before hitting the road? Is there a plan, for how he want to structure this practice to lead into what Tampa's going to be for him? And then also checking and see how much will he want Cam to do in practice versus the games. I'm not sure how much press is going to be down there from the Titans, but to get that question answered, what's the plan for the ones? I think this group other than Zeitler, probably is going to get a good bit of opportunity as far as live reps, Will.
Sure.
So I want to see how he balances. I don't think Peter's in a position to, no, you're good.
Honestly, I'd like to see the whole starting offensive line for a couple series.
Yeah, I would too. There's nothing wrong with the whole first quarter if you ask me.
No, I mean, and plus, if you're going to put Cam Ward out there and you want him to get some work, you'd like the best people possibly protecting him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Brian Callahan is downstairs. We don't have him yet.
Oh, okay.
So
I was just checking. I didn't know if this was.
You will not miss anything Brian Callahan says here on the airwaves.
I'm over here alerting you, Will, like, hey, chop, let's go.
All good.
We're good. You say you want to see a good bit of the first unit.
I'd say 2 series for the starting offensive line at least. I mean, I think a quarter. It's always tough to say a length of time in a game. Easier just to say series. Considering, because sometimes a 1-3 and out means you could be done, but we'll see. And we're about to find out because Brian Callahan is talking with the media right now.
Tomorrow at Tampa, get the chance to go to Atlanta. Really excited about the opportunity for our team to be on the road together. That's sort of the intent of the whole trip. Spend some time, get a chance to grow together, and then get to go play against some other teams. And one of the things that I'm really looking for is what do those teams say about us when we leave? What do they say about how we play, the intensity we practice with? Those are all things that we get a chance to go make an imprint of what our team can be this year, and that's the starting point. Get a chance to go play against somebody else and show what we're all about and go compete, which would be really fun. And get a chance to do some things as a team on the road, some events together, things like that. It's something I'm really looking forward to. Can't wait.
What will those practices look like, I guess, starting in Tampa? A lot like these, but just working on several fields, different units.
Yeah, it'll be just pretty similar to a practice here. Points of emphasis on a 1-day practice with Tampa will be a little bit different than a 2-day practice with Atlanta. You get it. The 2 days give you some chances to break some things up, but you'll see all the major situations. You'll see some third down. You'll see red zone. You'll see 2-minute. All the stuff that we work here every day. It'll be good to go against somebody else.
You had an uncharacteristic blow up after the last practice. Was that just frustration mounting because of the offensive struggles, or just something to give the offense a spark?
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. Probably more so than anything else is a chance, is a teachable moment. There's adversity that you're going to face during the course of a season. For us, we had 5 out of 6 days in pads. It was hard. Guys were tired, and it came down to the last period, and it really was just the last period of practice that I just wanted to see a different response in the moment, and it was a good chance to point it out and talk about what we need in the future. And I think just going through that moment allows you to grow from it. So it was a really, I think, teachable moment at the end of the day, and uncharacteristic. You guys don't see me every day all the time, but sometimes you gotta turn it up a little bit.
What kind of feedback did you get from that, Brian? The players said anything to you about that?
Yeah, I think all of them recognized what we were looking for, especially from an offensive execution perspective in that moment, and they know exactly what it is. And I don't think any of them were surprised by it, and I don't think anybody would have expected any less, to be honest, because we hold ourselves to a higher standard, and we needed to perform better in the moment. And the good thing is it's August 4th or 5th or whatever day it was, and we got a lot of work still to go, and it was a good moment for us. I think it was necessary.
Get Condre back, and how does he kind of fit into your safety group?
Yeah, I'm really excited to have Quandre back. I'm a huge fan of his. I'd been with him in Detroit for 2 years, and obviously having him here this year, he's a pro's pro. He's an outstanding leader. He's a good football player, and so I think we're always open to adding good football players to our team, and he's certainly, we had an opportunity to bring him back, and he was interested in coming back, so he's here and ready to roll, and I'm thrilled that we have him here. The safety rotation is still going to be what it is, but it's good for the competition. It's good for our football team.
You've seen the defense have the upper hand.
Come back.
What's your plan with Cam for the first preseason?
Yeah, we're going to play. Our starters are going to play. We're going to play in all 3 preseason games. That's just like we did last year, similar process. The joint practices do change a little bit of how much, you kind of gauge how physical the practice is and how much those guys might need, but they're going to play in every game, and we're going to let Cam play. So he's going to be on the field playing football. Hard to say how much at the moment. We'll work through that as we get to the practice tomorrow, but I would imagine for sure a series and maybe 2 in the first game with the starters, so he'll play.
Brian,
I'll come back. We'll come back.
Defenses, we've seen them have the upper hand a lot out here in these training camp practices. How eager are you to see them tested by a pretty potent Buccaneers offense with Mayfield and those receivers?
I think it's great. We get a chance to go against 2, I think, really talented offensive teams. When you look at their roster and their talent, and Tampa Bay was a playoff team last year. They won 10 games. They've done a really good job. So to go against Baker and that skill group they have there, which is incredibly talented, it's a good offensive line. It's going to be a great test for us, and that's why I look forward to these joint practices. Is you get to measure against somebody else, and you get to see how you respond against different competition in a different color jersey. Really excited about that, but certainly a stiff test for the defense, because that's a good operation there on offense.
One instance at the end of last practice.
Yeah.
How would you rate the offense so far this camp, and is it close to what you would like to see, or is it pretty far away?
No, we're still striving to get better and hit a certain mark. I think there's the growth that I think Cam's shown in the last couple of days from that particular process, I think has been really, really encouraging. There's a particular way you have to play quarterback in the NFL, and I think he's figuring out how to balance that with how he's played in the past, and we're trying to mesh those styles together for him, and he's done a great job with it. So there's still growth to be had. We're not where we need to be, certainly, but that's the fun part of training camp, and I think as we stack some practices against some different defenses, I think it'll be fun to see where we're at. I feel good about our trajectory, and I feel good about the process that we have going, and we got to keep pushing to perform.
Preseason, do you look back at last year's preseason games in terms of, like you talked about, playing starters and everything else, and things that you say, okay, I want to change this from maybe my first year?
I liked how we went about the process in the preseason last year. I felt like we were ready to play when the opening game. I think that's the key is your team in the right place to go play football for real. And we came out pretty hot in the first part of that Chicago game, and I felt like we were ready to go play. And so the process there, I think is the right one to play, and I think playing is important, and I wouldn't change much. We might play a little bit more potentially on offense just because we have a young quarterback that needs to see a little bit of action. So we feel like he's really ready to roll, and he's got enough experience that we, potentially week 1 isn't an eye-opener. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel good about how we did it last year. It's going to be pretty similar, but we're still going to play in the preseason.
What success is, or what success looks like in the preseason when you're trying to look at it so much?
Yeah, it's hard because it's not real, what I mean by that is your starters may be out there against the other team's twos. You're not going to see their fastballs. They're not going to see their game plan. All of those things lead to a hard gauge. It's still a football game. It's not practice, but it's also not a real football game either when it comes to game plans and pressure packages and all that stuff. So what you're looking for is guys to execute the techniques and the system at its core. So it's really more about what we're doing and how we do it. That's what you look for, and you look for us executing that at a high level, regardless of, again, of who you're playing against or what's out there. You want that to look like you have you're executing things well the way you want them executed. Again, the score is sort of irrelevant to me. It's more about watching guys play and seeing them play real football and see who shows up.
Brian, you brought in Mike McCoy. Has he been everything that you expected and hoped for bringing him to the staff?
Yeah, Mike's been fantastic. Such a wealth of experience in the league, experience as a head coach, experience as a coordinator, really good person, sounding board for me, someone to lean on. He's great. He's just a great person on top of it. I love being around him. I think everybody else does too. He loves football, and you know, truthfully, for a guy that's had the experiences that he's had, and this, you know, been a head coach and all those things, and for him to come in the role he's in with the humility to take on the role and just want to help. He just loves football and wants to be around and wants to lend a helping hand wherever he can help us at the end of the day. So, love Mike, love having him here. I think he's been an asset for us so far.
Against your own team day in and day out there, obviously hungry to go up against another team. What's the conversation you have going down there just to make sure, you know, it doesn't get too high, too heated out there?
Well, you know, the league doesn't want, you know, fights at joint practices. That's pretty clear. You know, we have pretty straightforward rules in place, and I won't share those necessarily exactly what they are, but we shouldn't have any of those problems. I want guys to compete. You know, you want to sort of live on that edge a bit, but at the end of the day, if it boils over in anything else, it's illegal. You can't do it in a game. You shouldn't do it in practice. I hope it's spirited. I hope it's competitive, but there's a line that you can't cross. And I think both me and Coach Bowles and their team are all on the same page as we're trying to get together, get some great work, and not have anything silly happen in the process.
Who's out of practice today, and do you have anybody that won't practice against the Bucks?
We'll see about the Bucks. Today, the same couple guys are out. I'll just make sure I have it accurate. Hance is still returning. He's getting better, but he'll be out today. Brewer, he's getting better. He'll be out today. Carlos Watkins will be out today. Kevin Winston will be out today, and then Quandre will be out here, but we'll manage Quandre. You know, he hasn't practiced as much as these guys have, so he'll be out and doing some things, but he probably won't participate in the full practice at the moment. Sweat should be out here. He should be good to go.
Thanks, Coach.
All good?
Thank you.
There he is, Tennessee Titans head coach Brian Callahan meeting with the media this morning, saying preseason hard because it's not real. It is still a football game, but it's also not a real football game, Ramon Foster.
No, it's not. It's a bunch of situational stuff. Again, this is the dress rehearsal to get ready for the real thing. Coach acknowledged also, like, you're not going to see the most intricate and intimate things when it comes down to the offense, the defense, heck, even the special teams. Well, they're going to be trying stuff out. You might see guys trying to figure out how they can get the ball to touch right inside the go zone on those types of things, man. So it's an evaluation. That's what this is. And he's already alluded to the fact, too, that practice, these joint practice kind of changed the way you play the games also.
We'll react more to that coming up in hour number 3, 615-737-1045. I'd love to hear from you on what you want to see from the Titans as they take on the Bucs in joint practices and as well in the first preseason game on Saturday night. But when we come back, as practice begins, as stretching takes place, we give you some NFL headlines. And one thing that is going to be totally over-discussed and overblown that happens in the NFL on Friday. And we'll talk about that next.
Guys, you already know Synergex and Low T Center have been changing the lives of men across the country for over a decade. Testosterone replacement therapy has helped men get their energy back, regain confidence, save their marriages, and helped overcome symptoms associated with depression. Yes, it's truly life-changing. But did you know that women with hormonal imbalances experience many of the same symptoms of men with low testosterone? And guys, you know how frustrating that can be. For the first time ever, Low T Center is now offering hormone replacement therapy for women. Low T doesn't just affect the guys. In fact, testosterone can benefit women as well. Other treatment options are available to help women balance their hormones and bring back balance to their lives. With in-center and at-home treatment options available for the ladies, find out which one is right for you when you speak with one of the providers about injections, topical creams, and pellets too. So just imagine how much better you'll feel with your hormones levels restored store. Guys, if you haven't taken your T-test yet, then what are you waiting for? Ladies and gents, man, it's time to take control of your health with Synergex and Low T Center. For more information about men getting their lives back or balancing women's hormones for a better you, or to book an appointment, head over to fixmylowt.com today. That's fixmylowt.com. You'll be glad you did, I promise. Get ready to buy like a dealer buys at Genesis Diamonds. Starting this Saturday, you get insider pricing on all GIA certified diamond rings. 20% off. That's an extra 20% off Genesis already ridiculously low prices, okay? And this year, all lab-grown diamonds are also included in this. So you can choose from a lab-grown or a GIA certified diamond, natural diamond, and get 20% instant savings. From a half a carat if you want to, every shape, every style, they'll have rounds, ovals, radiance, cushion cuts, pairs, emeralds, princess cuts. They go all the way up to 20 carats if you need them. Also, all handcrafted and set to perfection in a gorgeous Genesis setting. This is Genesis' most popular annual event. Smart buyers know the value doesn't get any better anywhere else. But hurry, this is a limited time offer, and it starts this Saturday morning when the doors open. Genesis Diamonds makes getting the most perfect engagement ring more affordable than ever. And don't be surprised to see other jewelers scoping out these incredible deals too. It's the Genesis Diamonds Diamond Extravaganza. An extra 20% off stunning GIA and lab-grown diamond engagement rings starting this Saturday. Only at Genesis Diamonds. See store for details.
It is 8:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans back at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park for practice this morning as they begin stretch period as we speak. But before they head to Tampa Bay for joint practice tomorrow, with the Bucs in the first preseason game Saturday night. Head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media just a little bit ago and talked about how much the starters will play in preseason and this Saturday night in Tampa.
We're going to play. Our starters are going to play. We're going to play in all 3 preseason games. That's just like we did last year, similar process. The joint practices do change a little bit of how much, you kind of gauge how physical the practice is and how much those guys might need, but they're going to play in every game, and we're going to let Cam play. So he's going to be on the field playing football. Hard to say how much at the moment. We'll work through that as we get to the practice tomorrow, but I would imagine for sure a series and maybe 2 in the first game.
In other Titans news, yesterday they announced a couple transactions, including the signing of safety Quandre Diggs, who returns to the Titans after spending last season with the club. Diggs started in 8 games, tallied 42 tackles before his season ended on injured reserve due to a Liz Frank fracture. This will be Diggs' 11th NFL season. The Titans also waived outside linebacker Titus Leo and safety Mark Perry. In NFL news this morning, per Ian Rappaport, Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is dealing with an aggravated disc and has received an epidural to help him deal with it. Stafford is deemed week to week, being cautious, but the plans are for him to be ready for week 1. The Titans and Rams will meet in Nashville week 2 for the Titans home opener. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
And here we go into the second half of the show, 8 a.m. in beautiful Music City, USA, live from Tennessee Titans training camp. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Scooters Coffee, locally owned, near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. He is the 11-year NFL vet, the Vol Network color analyst, Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins makes the show happen back at our 104.5 The Zone studios. Kirby Allen Kirby, Robert Walsh, Lucas Panzica, all hovering, all hanging out, all vibing here on the SeatGeek Terrace. We're going to talk about what Brian Callahan had to say this morning about Titans starters, Titans preseason workloads for Cam Ward, for the offensive line. We'll do that here in just about 15 minutes, where we will get into what Brian Callahan said this morning. But Ramon Foster, leading first take on Friday.
Leading first take
is going to be a lot of Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders nonsense, because Shedeur Sanders is going to start the Browns' first preseason game.
Is he really?
Friday against the Carolina Panthers. The 5th round pick is QB1P. 1P for 1 in the preseason. I'm sure no one will overreact to this at all.
No, absolutely not, man. They're going to run with it. Is it the national game also?
I'm sure it will.
I'm sure it will be at this point. Cleveland's situation is unique.
Can hear the desperation in your voice.
I do, because
about having to talk about this.
The one thing I will say is this: guys' careers are at stake here. No matter how you feel about Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel or Deshaun Watson or Joe Flacco or Snoop Huntley, they got a plethora of guys, man. Like, they got to do a better job of trying to set these guys up for success. Also, I've been taken serious as a team. That's the issue for me. There's more conversation about the who's and the whatnots than it is what they actually are as a team, man. And that sucks, though. And here's another situation where they're parading Shedeur around and putting him on Front Street to be a show. And that part of it is very flagrant to me as an organization. But when I say that, like, I come off as a Browns hater or just somebody that's viewing what they do is below the line. They are giving him the opportunity to start. I guess that's the biggest storyline of it all. But the announcement of it, how they want to go about presenting it, it takes a lot of the seriousness away from it for me.
Are they setting him up to fail?
It seems a little bit like that, yes. And again, we saw the optics of the draft night and then you also have an owner, and Jimmy Haslam said he wasn't my pick. It's just like, y'all got to get on the same page, man, with how you're going about this. You know, this young man is a show when it comes down to how he's been covered pre-draft. You got a guy you drafted ahead of him, and then you draft him also. And the main conversation is he's winning the locker room over, and it's nothing about his professionalism. And yes, Will, I will throw that in that conversation.
So Dylan Gabriel's hurt. Kenny Pickett's hurt. Stu Huntley's brought in. Joe Flacco's 87 years old. That is why Shedeur Sanders gets this opportunity. It's kind of unavoidable, to be honest with you, because who else? You're going to put Snoop Huntley in there who's been there for a cup of coffee? No. You're going to put Joe Flacco in there who gets breathed on and needs a hip replacement? No.
Fascinating.
And so that just leaves you with Shedeur. It is an unfortunate situation, I think, for all parties, and unfortunate for us that we have to listen to talk about it. The Browns' starting offense, Ramon, somebody put this out there and said, I can't believe this is a starting offense at the NFL. On paper, about as bad as I've seen at this point of an offseason. Wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy, Jamari Thrash, and Cedric Tillman. Running back, Jerome Ford. Tight end, David Njoku. Offensive line from left to right, DeJuan Jones, Joel Bitonio, Ethan Posick, Wyatt Teller, and Jack Conklin, with quarterback Joe Flacco. Ugh.
I like the line better. DeJuan Jones got to step up. Poach does too. The best part of what they got going on is knowing who Joe Flacco is and that offensive line, to be quite honest with you. That's about it. With question marks behind it, especially with DeJuan Jones. What is he going to be this year? You know, like, he's a big guy. I've yet to hear anything about him, but, like, he's their left tackle, though, too, with old Joe.
He sure is.
Oh, Lord. That's a lot to put on a young fella and the old guy at the same time.
Just say, hey, here's this guy named T.J. Watt. You
Listen, as I guess agitating as their fan base has been to me all my career, good luck, y'all. This is what I would tell you.
I'm sure you're really going to lose sleep over
the AFC North. Get Trey Hendrickson signed while they at it in Cincinnati. Let them feel the full heat of what the AFC North rushers are.
The NFL has sent a memo to teams that smelling salts and the use of ammonia will no longer be allowed before and during NFL games. Teams are prohibited from, quote, providing or supplying ammonia in any form. That includes ammonia capsules, inhalers, ammonia in a cup, and any form of smelling salts. It applies to the entirety of a game, including pregame activities and halftime. Applies in the locker room. Ramon Foster, George Kittle crashed the set in NFL Network broadcast of 49ers camp yesterday and said, quote, I considered retirement.
Listen.
Did you ever have any dealings with ammonia or smelling salts?
What I might say may be illegal, okay?
I mean, it's not.
What
it's
I may
not
say next may be
illegal.
But listen, we used to pop them and put them in water bottles. Okay, we have like 20 of them, and we pop them, put them in a water bottle. One is enough.
Oh yeah.
We used to shake it up, open the top, squeeze, and just be ready to go. Like, it's a blast of, like, get your mind right is what it is. Not only just that, Will, if you weren't ready, you were tired, and you felt like you needed coffee, no, you don't. Hit this bottle right here is what I'm telling you, okay? Not only that, I saw somebody say this yesterday. I was, okay, in every series guy. I couldn't go on the field, Will, if I didn't have one. Sonya was our trainer, man. Sonya, shout out to Sonya, man. She come over. Yes, I do. You know
Sonya.
this. Yeah, shout out
Wherever
to Sonya.
Sonya is this morning.
Man, she would give us one. I'd pop it. Even if I wasn't actually smelling it, it's the routine of this is a part of the culture that we have, man. I don't know what it was. I got a bottle at home if you want to do it.
I'm good.
Okay, get ready for the sideline this weekend, okay? I got some at the crib is what I'm telling you right now. And, Will, it's tradition. It's a remedy that you just do going on the field. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, you do need it because listen, we're kicking their butt, and I need a little something. It clears your head, man. It sets you in a space of you ain't got no choice but to be piped up and ready to go. I'm shocked by that.
Interesting.
I am. No, it's look on the side. Well, you can't look on the side.
No, I've looked at every. I mean, there are soccer players that do it. There are, hockey guys love a smelling salt.
Those little pink pouches, they look like Zen. Okay, the little pink pouches on the ground that are those. That's what I've seen them on the field, man. I picked one up before and sniffed that one before.
George Kittle jokingly saying, "I considered retirement. We have to figure out a middle ground here, guys. Somebody help me out. Somebody come up with a good idea." That's all I had to get out there. Get that off my chest.
Listen, I got a group chat now with an old franchise quarterback I used to play with, okay? It's myself, it's Marquise, it's Alejandro, and everybody's trying to figure out why. Okay? Why? Al is distraught by this. Alejandro Villanueva is distraught by this. And we're giving out answers that I can't say on air of what the replacement can be.
To be a fly on the wall in that group chat.
Oh, listen, you don't want to. Yeah, it's treacherous.
I'm sure it is.
The suggestions are insane, Will.
Some news from 104.5 The Zone yesterday, and something we are excited about here on the station. Cumulus Media, 104.5 The Zone, announcing a multi-year renewal of its broadcast partnership with the University of Tennessee. The Vol Network, it ain't leaving. On 104.5 The Zone, Mike Keith, Tennessee Assistant Athletics Director of Broadcasting and voice of the Vols. That was fun to read for the first time in an official capacity. With the statement saying, "It has been my privilege to work with The Zone." Recommended the Vol Network GM Emeritus Steve Early that the Vol Network be broadcasted on The Zone back in 2010, and they are sticking around. We are 24 days away from Mike Keith and Ramon Foster taking the airwaves on the Vol Network on 104.5 The Zone. Exciting day yesterday for 104.5 The Zone.
It was, man. To see you locked in for multiple years, man, was huge. The stability of it, man. The involvement of all of us here at the station. I know Ron is doing a lot of work, man. Will, you do also that doesn't get spoken about, all the stuff you do up there. Myself in the new role that I'm in, absolutely love it. It's a partnership that makes sense. And it's something I'm glad we all get an opportunity to be a part of and help this thing grow, man.
The tradition and brand of...
Did you say the involvement?
You see what I'm saying, Kirby?
Kirby Allen Kirby, ladies and gentlemen.
We could just spin this however we need to, Kirby. Yes, I did say
great.
that.
It's the voice in the sky just descending upon my headphones.
Kirby misses nothing, okay? That's my guy.
Ever. No, the tradition and brand of The Zone, the history of the Vol Network has always been a perfect match. And Mid-State Vols fans, many of whom have made us number one in their presets, not just because of this, but because of you and because of Ron Slay, because of the VFLs that we get on these airwaves. We are lucky and fortunate to have both of you two on with us to help really strengthen the voice, strengthen the brand of Big Orange and 104.5 The Zone, and we are excited to have the Vol Network sticking around with us, and excited to hear you in 24 days.
And Michael Keith, he sent out a tweet yesterday also. I'm not sure if you saw that one. Telling us with the
making a little show
schedule.
announcement.
Yes, absolutely. He will be joining 3HL on Mondays at 4:20. They were excited about that time. Michael wasn't. And on Thursdays, Mike Keith will be joining us, not on Fridays anymore. He'll be joining us on Thursdays at 8:20.
Thursdays at 8:20, where you can hear the voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, on Ramon and Will. We are very grateful to have him a part of our weekly lineup this fall.
I saw him a couple of weeks ago in Knoxville, and he only had one suggestion. Should I tell it on air? He said, I only got one suggestion for you guys, or request for you guys. I was like, what, Mike? Of course, whatever you want. You got to continue to play The Sopranos when I come.
Yes. Justin Hawkins, take note of that. Mike Keith still wants the Sopranos theme song every time he comes on with us on Thursdays. That is of the utmost importance to the VOT-V.
The VOT-V, yes. Yeah, VOT-V. Oh, VOT-V.
Voice of the Vols. Justin, do you know the story behind the Sopranos music?
I do not. I've never watched the show.
Don't figure it out then, okay?
So, no, I'll tell you. So basically, it was, this was, I imagine, a brainchild of Julius Schaefer, that the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, was always known as the VOT. Well, that sounds like, and tell me if I'm telling this wrong, it sounds like a mob boss.
It does.
The VOT.
The VOT.
And
yes.
obviously Mike takes on that persona very well of the boss
yes.
in the corner office. So we play the Sopranos music because the VOT is like the boss.
Yeah.
So even though he's the VOT-V now, we'll still play the Sopranos music because what Mike from Franklin asks for, he receives on this radio program.
He's like Tony.
That's right.
He's like Tony Soprano.
Make an offer you can't refuse. I'll make an offer you can't refuse. Practice observations.
Love it.
Shall we do that?
You best believe.
There's a football practice happening beneath us. We'll tell you about it coming up. Plus, what Brian Callahan said about starters, preseason workloads, how much you can expect to see Cam Ward this weekend against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got that for you next. Are you looking to relocate for a job in a short amount of time? Are you looking for a quick move because you found another property you might want to purchase and you don't want to pay those 2 mortgages? Well, understanding the real estate market and how it works in Middle Tennessee is a challenge. You need my friend Bernie Callahan to help you wade through those waters. What's going on? It's Will Bowling. Bernie Callahan Realty. He is the real estate agent with the 30-day guarantee. That's right. You've heard me talk about this. He's the only real estate agent I have ever personally endorsed. Bernie Callahan guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he will buy it. That's right. No risk to you. He'll let you out of the contract at any time. Bernie is the real estate agent with a 30-day guarantee to sell your home, and if not, he will buy it from you. Check him out, BernieGallaranty.com. You've got the home value estimator there. It's fast, it's free, and easy. You can find out how much your home is really worth by heading online to BernieGallaranty.com. The only Nashville real estate agent who is personally recommended as well by Barbara Corcoran of Shark Tank. Call him on his cell phone, 615-428-2644. That's Bernie Callahan Realty, online at BernieGallaranty.com, or call him at 615-428-2644. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Well, now I feel like Mike Keith should be joining us.
I'm watching it right now.
This gets me in the mood for football season.
Yeah, I'm on season 5.
I'm ready.
So good. Will.
I'm so ready.
So good.
We get this, and then yesterday we get a Jim Wyatt Britches report.
I saw.
Nature is healing.
Icy Whites, man.
We're so back.
Yes, absolutely.
Quick poll, best Titans uniform combination. Go.
Icy White.
Really? That's your favorite one?
I like that one.
Nice.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Justin, favorite Titans
all
uniform
Navy.
combo? All Navy.
All
Okay.
Navy. Where you at on this one, Will?
With the Navy helmet, like it just fits. The whole thing.
The all white is hard to beat. I like it's probably just because it's what I grew up with. Navy on white, simple, basic,
clean.
When I was a kid, I loved all the neon stuff. I love all the crazy. Some would say I am still a kid, but not me. I loved all the crazy uniform combinations and stuff. The older I get, the more I just like a solid color on white pants, just clean.
You oppose, before we get back to this Titans talk and stuff, you oppose to the red jersey because Cam Ward is rocking the red cleats with the red jersey.
I am opposed to the
You're
red jersey.
opposed to it.
It's not the colors.
It's got red in the details.
Okay. Let it be
It's
in
like
the details.
color rush.
No.
It's a good accent.
It's a great accent.
Y'all like the accent of it.
Yeah, right. It's the 3 stars of Tennessee. It's the Middle East and West stars.
I mean, I get it.
On the
get
flaming
it.
thumbtack, but no, I don't. Don't give me a red jersey. That was for the fake Christmas stuff that happened years ago.
Listen, fake me up then, okay? I'm telling you, I
the
like
red cleats we could talk about.
Red jerseys are good, and they sell like crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, sure, but you could sell them without having to wear them on the field.
Well, alternate, if you get a Thanksgiving Day game, Christmas Day game.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that for the rivalry series jersey thing that's coming. But
I mean, that's real. Cam Dap up
because a lot of those are like
right now.
tertiary colors right now.
Yeah, and I'm here for it is all I'm saying, Will. If the option was there, I think it'd do well.
I never have a strong opinion on a jersey until I see it on shoulder pads on the field.
I understood.
Because there are a lot of jerseys I don't like, and then I see them in action. Like, I actually quite like that. So maybe I would like the red if I saw it on the field.
To your point, they can't black Adidas this thing, is what you're saying.
No, they cannot. They cannot go to a sporting goods store in Knoxville, get black practice jerseys, and then sew on an Adidas symbol on them, the way Tennessee did in 2009.
I'm telling you, in the word that Savage and I invented, it might be do it, is what I'm telling you, okay?
That's a couple words.
It might be do it, is what I'm telling you.
When you think of the Titans, it's two-tone blue. It's not red, but a red alternate once in a while might be okay. That might be do it.
I'm good.
It's just like going to your dad's parents' house. Okay, you always go to mama's parents' house. Like, it's okay to go visit dad's side too, is all I'm saying. And I feel like the red jersey is dad's side.
Okay. This is like the
them too.
uncle. Like you visit the uncle occasionally.
Listen, I'll do it.
Can we move on now?
Do me one. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we're moving on. I had to ask.
Brian Callahan, meeting with the media a few minutes ago, says that Cam Ward and the starters will get opportunities, will get reps. Difficult to put an exact number of plays or amount of time on it, especially in the joint practice time. As Brian Callahan says, it'll depend on how physical some of those practices are. Ramon Foster, how much time in preseason does this new offensive line need to work together as a group of 5?
Man, I'll go ahead and give you a timeline. I'll give me a quarter and a half first game, maybe a quarter max, quarter and a half. Give me up to a half. No, they got 2 practices against against Atlanta. You're not going to get a whole half.
No, you're not.
Another quarter, and then that third game, because you got that gap week, I'd go up to a quarter and a half again is the way I look at them, because you have that gap week of no, it's week 0, I guess is what it is. You have that. So give me real live work against a team I feel like would be very competitive against them. I do it that way.
This was Brian Callahan talking about Cam Ward's workload, what he expects to see from the number 1 overall pick in preseason action.
We're going to play. Our starters are going to play. We're going to play in all 3 preseason games. That's just like we did last year. Similar process. The joint practices do change a little bit of how much. You kind of gauge how physical the practice is and how much those guys might need. But they're going to play in every game, and we're going to let Cam play. So he's going to be on the field playing football. Hard to say how much at the moment. We'll work through that as we get to the practice tomorrow. But I would imagine for sure a series and maybe 2 in the first game with the starters. So he'll play.
How are you? So that's Brian Callahan meeting with the media
Q.
this week. Our guy Q hanging out with us, friend of the program up here at the SeatGeek Terrace here. Take a quick selfie live on air. Here we go.
Live on air right here, baby.
Yeah, live radio. Here we go. 1, 2.
Say cheese.
Thank you. Appreciate
Congrats,
that.
Q. Absolutely.
Good to see Q out here always.
Man. Ball.
That's right. Cam Ward in preseason game settings, Ramon Foster.
Yeah.
How will preseason be a new and different challenge for him than practices?
It starts with the adrenaline. As much as you are prepared, Will, as much as you understand what you're doing, from rep to rep, drill to drill, nothing gets you ready with the lights. The grass feels different, the football difference. The grass feels different, the football feels different, and just the idea that it's real live shots it becomes the reality for you because, again, I mentioned the idea of him being able to get hit. The breakdowns isn't a whistle being blown right now. He has to either throw the ball into the ground, managing those types of scenarios for himself, man. That's got to be crucial because he knows the game,
right?
But it is more sped up.
I think it's that part.
Yes,
of it.
It's more sped up right now.
I think it's the fear of getting hit in an NFL setting.
Yep.
That has to change the order of operations a bit for Cam Ward. And you hope that also alleviates some of the concerns about playing hero ball and trying to extend plays a little bit too much. And I think there's got to be a clock and an internal rhythm for Cam to say, maybe in a regular season game I'm extending this play or that play, or maybe I'm scrambling out of the pocket and trying to find Calvin Ridley deep in a moment like this when a play breaks down or when I feel like I'm under pressure. I don't want to see Cam Ward take any chances in Tampa, in Atlanta, or at home against Minnesota. I have no interest in seeing him get hit. No interest whatsoever.
This is where he learns to protect himself.
That's right.
This group
that really starts on Saturday.
It does, man, because you mentioned, the cowboy ball that he'll play from time to time. He's gotten away with in college. Like, you'll see, linebackers are smarter. DBs will bait you. The closing in on players, Will, is insanely faster. And we're talking about jobs and pride being on the line, too. Like, that plays a huge part into his development, too. Quarterbacks got to protect themselves. It's a lot that the offensive line can do for him. The running back pickups is cool. But if we see him shrinking in the pocket or thinking he can get away from this 270-pound defensive lineman or Kalijah Cansey, that guy's fast.
He is.
He's out of pit just like Aaron Donald, not comparing them. But the D tackles, when they beat you, it's okay to go to the ground. It's what you tell a guy like Cam.
Hassan Reddick, edge rusher for Tampa. I mean, they've got some solid players in that defensive front. And a Todd Bowles defense is not going to look too dissimilar, Ramon, from what Denard Wilson's defense has looked like. The way that they are going to blitz you, as aggressive as they will be. You heard Brian Callahan say, we'll play more of what he had to say a minute ago coming up, about how vanilla things are in preseason, but vanilla in the NFL is still 32 flavors mixed in one for a college player.
It really is.
I mean, how much detail will Tampa go into for you, Ramon, with this week to really show Cam Ward things that he hasn't seen yet?
I still think they're going to send a linebacker. They can send a cross dog from time to time just to wet their whistle, just to see, because they got to see and test their guys too.
Right.
They may have a corner blitz or safety coming down into the box where he's shooting no matter what. There are adjustments that still have to be made over the course of preseason for the opposing team. So, it's going to be vanilla to where you're not going to see them rocking and shifting so much to where it's, bailing out before the doggone ball is snapped. But the idea that they want to see their linebackers get home from their home positions matters. There will be games up the middle, TEs, ETs, and cats and stuff like that. You can see those things, Will, and that's where, like you said, it's vanilla because it's not a full game plan. But there's a lot of base that goes in on day one. Think about the Titans defense on day one.
Right.
It was vanilla for day one, but that was a lot of info that coach was still sending to the other side of the ball. So, again, defenses can be vanilla in air quotation marks, but still be very advanced in what you're asking them to do.
So here's the way I understand it. And you tell me if this is accurate. Teams are still going to do complicated things, but they're not going to scheme for the opponent as much.
It's about them.
So obviously in a regular season game, if you understand that a right guard and right tackle partnership have a tough time working together against stunts, right? Like you understand weaknesses
yes, sir.
in what the other team does, then you're not vanilla. You're going to throw things at the other team's weakness that you feel like you can exploit. Preseason, it's less about scouting the opponent and more about what can we do to get work in on things we haven't mastered yet in practice.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that you're not going to see complicated concepts or aggressive blitzes. It just might mean that you're only seeing it because that team hasn't practiced it very well yet.
Exactly, man. And again, those types of things, they're trying to win jobs also.
No doubt.
This is their first opportunity to show that they belong in the NFL too. And not just that, one of Callahan's comments at the end of this thing was he mentioned wanting, what did he say? He said he wants to see how his team does and also see what Tampa has to say about them when they leave.
We have that audio from Brian Callahan right here talking about what he's looking forward to.
We get a chance to go against two, I think, really talented offensive teams. When you look at their roster and their talent, and Tampa Bay was a playoff team last year. They won 10 games. They've done a really good job. So to go against Baker and that skill group they have there, which is incredibly talented, it's a good offensive line. It's going to be a great test for us, and that's why I look forward to these joint practices. Is you get to measure against somebody else, and you get to see how you respond against different competition in a different color jersey. Really excited about that, but certainly a stiff test for the defense because that's a good operation there on offense.
Brian Callahan's opening comment, Ramon, saying, to your point, what do those teams say about us when we leave?
Yeah.
Can we make an imprint of what our team could be this year?
Yes.
That's the goal of the next 2 weeks.
And that matters. And then the other part of you mentioned, like the other side of the ball of Tampa or the Titans also is he said he want guys to execute their techniques as they're called. That's the main focus. That's why they will see some vanilla-ish stuff, and the Titans still got to execute no matter what when it comes down to what you get out of these practices, man. There's a lot of pressure in it, but that's what you want. You want to put guys in these types of situations. It shouldn't be an easy exam to pass because you're the cool teacher in the school. I think Coach Callahan's got a lot on his plate, and part of that does come down to having his guys ready. So I'd almost guess he'd ask Coach Todd Bowles and his staff, give us a little bit. Larry Foote's the DC down there. I played with Larry. Larry comes from a Pittsburgh mindset of going to get it, man. So I'll be fascinated to see what this looks like. It would be menacing.
No doubt. I mean, you're seeing two defenses that are as aggressive as it gets. The way they blitz you and the way they get after you. Going to be a good thing for Cam Ward ultimately. Routes on air happening at the moment, meaning that offenses are warming up, defenses warming up on separate fields, and you have Cam Ward and the quarterbacks throwing to receivers with no defense. I do think the routes on air have been a bit crisper today than maybe we've seen last week, or specifically, I wasn't here late last week, unfortunately, so couldn't speak to the differences over the weekend. But Cam Ward a bit high on a couple of throws, specifically in the red zone. Maybe it's something they're working on to get receivers where they can high point the football at the back of the end zone, and passes being caught so far. And we'll probably have some 7-on-7 and some run game stuff to tell you about here coming up at the end of the hour in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. And again, so you mentioned the selling of the ball for Cam. Getting your body in line, his lowers, working with his top is part of it. And just the flow and touch that he's looking for in these moments. These guys have specific routes, and quarterbacks have specific wide receivers that they're throwing to in those moments. So seeing how he navigates this and get better. Again, he has the touch. It's a matter of him being able to know where he's going to go when he sees these defenses.
All right, live practice observations when we come back. The ones are congregating, getting ready to begin the final padded practice before joint practices start tomorrow in Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers. We'll tell you what you need to know and react to it live with you coming up next.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? I'll tell you, settling for less money. Yes, the cash, man. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle, though, when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new house. Yes, absolutely. It's on your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on the market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer had to say, all right? I could have never sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and they couldn't have made it easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Before you buy and sell, get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, a 104.5 The Zone, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, here with you live from Tennessee Titans training camp. Good friend Aaron, Scooters Coffee, here hanging out with us up at the SeatGeek Terrace as well. Good to see a lot of friends, a lot of friendly faces out here at Titans training camp. Practice getting started, Ramon Foster. How does the offense look to you here in this first kind of, not really 7-on-7, it's almost just,
yeah.
2s on 2s, 3s on 3s, and quarterbacks throwing to him right now.
Yeah, quick, man, fast. Oh, you got to bring that in. I trust him, though. I'm not going to say
incompletion for, I'll say it, Tyler Lockett there on a pass from Brandon Allen that led him a little bit.
Between his hands.
Working on Julius Wood, the defender.
Yeah, he was. Julius Wood was step for step with him, too, man. What I'm loving is this. Their abilities to get open, man, offensively. I know there's not an offensive line playing this part right there, but he has
Xavier Restrepo over the top. Did he catch that?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's a
double
good catch.
caught it. Yeah, right on the edge.
Tim
right
Boyle with a deep ball and 2-on-2s to the Miami all-time leading receiver.
You know what's fascinating about 87, Xavier Restrepo?
What's
is
that?
You know the 40 time, but you see him beat a guy right here that he probably wouldn't beat in the 40, not even 10 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying, Will?
Sure.
Or 2 times out of 10. But he gets open, and that's what he's going to have to continue to do in these moments, man. He has to.
I think Xavier Restrepo is a gamer.
Yep.
I think the real evaluation process for him starts Saturday.
Yes.
In preseason games.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not to say he shouldn't be putting his best foot forward in practice. Obviously, the practice reps are important.
Yeah.
Xavier Restrepo, though, with what he has done at Miami, Miami's all-time leading receiver in receiving yards, receptions, touchdowns, 200 catches, 2,844 yards, and 21 touchdowns. The guy has made a career off of being, there's another catch, working on Jarvis Brownlee from Cam Ward there. He has made his entire football life off of being counted out, off of being slept on, and earning it on the field when the lights come on. Who am I to doubt that he's going to do that again in a Titans jersey, just because I feel like he has been a little bit buried on this roster and probably still has an uphill battle to make this team.
I'll give you that, too. And the other thing that he has to have going for him also is the technique of how he works and the mental side of it, too. When you're a little bit less of an athlete, man, you got to have the in-between stuff when it comes down to how you make yourself successful. It's angles. It's faking guys out, going left, going right. It's having good hands. He's not afforded to have bad hands.
Well, and it's not getting tackled.
Yeah,
I mean, he does have the ability of a player of his size, listed at 5'10", 202 pounds, to
he looks bigger than
get beyond tacklers and stay up.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't get to showcase that as much in practice when the defense can't tackle you to the ground.
Yep, no doubt about it. So to your original point a second ago, when the lights come on in the stadium, that matters so much more for him, because some guys are telling, well, coach, just wait till the game, and they're just joking around.
For him, it really is significant.
Yep.
All right, 1s versus 1s, 11 on 11 starting. The Titans moving from left to right at the left hash mark of their own 32-yard line. Cameron Ward is under center at quarterback against the starters on defense. Cam on a play action, going to check this down. Little screen pass left side. Tony Pollard got space as James Williams gets beyond Peter Skoronski to make the stop. Only a pickup of about 2 or 3. That ball deflected before it got to Pollard, which allowed James Williams more time to get beyond the convoy of blockers and make the play there.
I tell you what I was most impressed with is seeing it was the screenplay, seeing Kevin Zeitler all the way on the left side of that play. It was a screen left right there.
On the move.
And that's where the conditioning and reshaping their bodies and stuff plays a huge part into this type of offense.
Second down for Cam Ward of the Titans offense. 12 personnel, 1 back, Tony Pollard. It'll be Spears, actually, my mistake. And not a lot of room.
No, it wasn't right
Bottled
there.
up and getting in there to make the stop. Xavier Woods coming down from the secondary. We've not talked a lot about Xavier Woods, have we?
No, we have not, man. And I'm glad you brought that up right there. He's heavy off the edge right there. He let the play develop right there, but a guy like him is going to shoestring tackle him in the backfield. Again, this is simple, Will, but, you got a safety off the edge right here. We talk about what to expect from a team like Tampa. It's still this. That guy's got to be accounted for. Smart read by him.
Interesting, Timmy Horn Osborne, the man who plays next to Jeffrey Simmons at the moment. Brian Callahan made the point that Tavondre Sweat, dealing with that ab injury, would be out here. He went in during individual drills, so he is not out here anymore after starting the practice on the defensive line alongside Jeffrey Simmons. Here's a pitch left, Tony Pollard, defense all over it, but Pollard comes back to the right. Cam Ward tries to throw a block on Jarvis Brownlee.
Stay out the way, Cam.
And Jarvis holds him up. That's okay when you can't get tackled or flattened, but
somebody had a brain fart, and I saw it too.
Those are competitive instincts for Cam Ward. Who had a brain fart there?
Well, there's situations like that for Cam. Hey, you just stand there and look cute, okay? That's what you tell your starting quarterback. It was Dan. Dan went right when supposed to have been going left is what I saw. Yep, absolutely. I think that was
left tackle Dan Moore.
Left tackle Dan Moore on that play. Had a cold-blooded brain fart. Not okay.
So we get a 2nd down and 6. Cam Ward in the shotgun. Ones versus ones, 11 on 11. Cam Ward takes the snap.
Bro, come on,
looking,
Tajay.
pressure coming, still holding it, rolling out left, finds Chikakonko over the middle, wide open. Good catch. Good play by Cam Ward. Chig getting in front of James Williams for a Tennessee Titans first down.
Good job by Tajay Spears right there at the running back position, man. Also, you had, I think it was Femi pushing up in J.C. Latham's face right there. Pressure, not a sack. Didn't avoid Cam right there. What we saw, Will, from Cam Ward was his ability, what we spoke about earlier, escaping out of the pocket, extending it, and finding a guy. Chig was very friendly to him right there across the middle, ended up beating his own man, and potentially ended up getting a first down. I don't think I consider that a sack situation. I thought Tajay finished it out. Right tackle held his anchor. That was beautiful. That's what you're looking for from Cam.
It is.
Where do we steal a first down? They stole a first down right there.
Brandon Allen in at quarterback. Handoff up the middle. This is Khalil Mullings getting an opportunity. Is it? No, that's Julius Chestnut. Man, I got to get
they
back.
They look alike.
They do.
I'm going to be honest with
you.
They
do. Well, from up here, we're still getting used to watching practice from atop the seat terrace. Also, Khalil Mullings is running back 3 on the Titans' unofficial depth chart. So I figured he would be in there.
Gabe Judy-Lally was in at the line of scrimmage right there. So he tagged off. I'm not sure if he's getting Julius Chestnut down, but he was in and around the line of scrimmage.
Let's get one more play from the Titans' 2s here. Now Khalil Mullings is in there with Brandon Allen. Side by side in the shotgun set. Check at the line here for Allen, who moves Mullings, sends a man in motion, takes the snap, 3-step drop, gets rid of it quickly, overshoots Gunnar Helm, had him open.
Grab the helmet.
Gunnar had a step on Gabe Judy-Lally. Throw was a bit too high and nearly fell perfectly for the second-year man Kendall Brooks to make an interception. Incomplete pass.
Ball floated on him. You can tell as soon as he let go of it, he wanted that pass right there back, man. But you speak about Gunnar Helm's ability to get open, though. He was in the zone that you needed to. I mean, it needed to be a really good pass right there to drop it into that bread basket. Good stuff.
That's
the win that you want, though.
Yep. That's absolutely right. Better start for the offense very early into practice today. The final padded practice in Nashville for a couple of weeks. We will reset the headlines for you, tell you about the new Tennessee Titan and why he was likely brought in by the organization. Plus, there's a one-handed catch by Elikiah Manor that was incomplete.
He called it incomplete?
I think his feet were not in.
I'm counting that one.
We don't have refs today.
No, I'm arguing with you on that one, Will.
Okay.
I'm arguing.
Completed catch after further review for Elikiah Manor with one hand. Coming up, headlines and more practice observations to begin hour 4. Ramona Will, brewed by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone.
It's Ramon Foster here, and I'm here to tell you guys about my friends at Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. They are a trusted, cool part, family-owned Middle Tennessee company serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. You don't get into business like this, man, and stay in it if you're not good. They stand out by building relationships and earning trust through referrals, never through those high-pressure tactics that you need this. No, they'll tell you exactly what you need, or the door knocking, the storm chasing. We've all dealt with those people out after storms that come and knock, and you try to figure out, do you need to make the right decision or not? Absolutely not with Jewel Roofing, okay? For a roofer you can count on, call 615-868-9999 or visit jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com. It's Ramon Foster for Prince's Hot Chicken. Good people, man. They have locations all around the city, man. 5814 Nolensville Pike, the original, man. They're also in Broadway at the Assembly Food Hall. And they may be Prince's Hot Chicken, but they also offer you different options and different flavors, too, man. You can get the light mild, which I like. I'm not a super hot guy. You can do the triple X hot also. Their sides include mac and cheese, potato salad, baked beans, seasoned fries, greens, and coleslaw. And if you haven't tried anything until you've also tried their homemade desserts, man. Pecan pie, strawberry cake, so much more, man. They may be known for Prince's Hot Chicken, but they also have a vegan and vegetarian options as well. They have portobello wraps, chickpea salad sandwiches, and so much more. And they also cater from 15 people up to 1,000. So no party size is too big. Again, Prince's is the original hot chicken. Visit one of the many locations around the city and be sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
It is 8:59. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans back at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park for practice as they begin team period as we speak, before they head to Tampa Bay for joint practice tomorrow with the Buccaneers and their first preseason game this Saturday night. Head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media earlier and talked about the plan for the starters in preseason and this Saturday night in Tampa.
We're going to play. Our starters are going to play. We're going to play in all 3 preseason games. That's just like we did last year. year, similar process. The joint practices do change a little bit of how much, you kind of gauge how physical the practice is and how much those guys might need, but they're going to play in every game, and we're going to let Cam play. So he's going to be on the field playing football. Hard to say how much at the moment. We'll work through that as we get to the practice tomorrow, but I would imagine for sure a series and maybe 2 in the first game.
In other news, the Titans yesterday signed safety Quandre Diggs, who returns to the Titans after spending last season with the club. Diggs played and started in 8 games and tallied 42 tackles before his season ended on injured reserve due to a Lisfranc fracture. In NFL news, per Ian Rappaport this morning, Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is dealing with an aggravated disc injury and has received an epidural to help him deal with it. The plan is for Stafford to be ready for Week 1. The Titans and Rams will meet in Nashville for Week 2 for the Titans home opener. Also, Adam Schefter reports this morning that Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones is not confident in Micah Parsons being available for the September 4th season opener against the Eagles. Parsons requested a trade this past Friday and has not practiced with the team. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the 4th and final hour of Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Locally owned Scooters Coffee. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Kirby Allen Kirby present. Robert Walsh is here. Lucas Panzica. Coach Mack has made his way up to the SeatGeek Terrace as well. I'm trying to see if Mac's headset is plugged in because I don't know if it is.
As we got Mac talking right now?
I don't think his headset is plugged in.
We don't have Mac
here,
talking
I'm going to hand
right
Mac
now.
another headset here.
Yeah, come on, man.
No, it is. It is.
Mac.
Hold on. Coach Mac, talk to me.
I'm here with Hiller.
There he is.
There he got Scooters Coffee. I mean, I've met all the big dudes.
That's right.
Well, you're the big dude, Coach Mac, man. That's the
Don't
that's the
consider
point of it
myself
all.
that. I'm just glad that Will knows how to work this thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know much, but I can turn up volume.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
turn a camera so people can see you.
No doubt.
Joint practices, preseason. We're here, Mac. We made it.
I mean, this is big. I mean, I don't know what time that we'll be going tomorrow, so I want to get this in with you guys before we take off.
I like it.
Don't knock that off, Will. If it hits somebody in the head down there,
yeah, that'd be my fault.
Well, it's going to be like when they're storming
He's never
the
not
castle.
coaching, Will. He's never not coaching.
Start pouring hot oil and rocks on people. It's not going to be good.
No, it won't.
I know you got a lot of money, but I don't want it.
Do I?
I don't want a lawsuit on
News
it.
to me.
That's how you know he's got a lot, Coach Mac. His first thing is, do I?
He just stuck that thing on the edge. It looks like a weapon.
Yeah. It does look like a weapon.
Yeah,
I don't want to know what happens if it falls.
I mean, this is going to be a big week.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big week coming up. Of course, the one practice is going to be really, really important when we get down there, and then the multiple practices against Atlanta in the following weeks. But what this does, Ramon can speak to this, and so can I. After a while, you get pretty used to practicing against your own people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things happen, and of course, all the talk has been about how far the defense is ahead of the offense.
Right.
Throughout the league, they are. All you got to do is just read. I mean, 39 years, and so this will be good going up against different people, because even if you're running your base stuff, and it's not. I mean, I've done so many practices with other people during my coaching career, and it's not vanilla stuff, but your base stuff is different than from what your base stuff is that you're seeing here. Mm-hmm. But basically, it's just going against different people, and that's really important. The one-on-ones. I mean. One-on-ones, and Ramon can speak to this, one-on-ones on offense and defense, they're not zero-sum drills.
No.
Those are drills. But you're looking for the 11-on-11 stuff, and that's important. This team's going to play a lot of their guys in the preseason. You already heard what Coach Callahan said this morning, and they're going to need to. Mm-hmm. So this is just the start of it.
Mac, with Quandre Diggs coming into this defense, the opportunity to maybe have 3 safeties on the field at the same time, the opportunity to add to a room that was already deep, with even more depth, with leadership, with experience. What can Quandre Diggs bring to this defense?
Well, he's an
Coach
11-year veteran.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's big. And he played well when he was here last year until that Liz Frank, until that Liz Frank sidelined him. They will have 3 safeties on the field in this defense. They will do that. You're correct, Will. That's going to be a big part of it. The thing about Quandre Diggs is throughout his career, he's been a pretty multiple piece back there in the back end. And what you really need, I mean, it's an experienced guy. You still got a young player in Winston back there that's still coming back off of the ACL. I mean, to me, I think he's made tremendous progress. I didn't even expect him to be.
Yeah.
I thought he'd start out in POP.
I did too, Coach Mack.
Right?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
And so he's ahead of the game right now. But Quandre Diggs, I think they were just waiting for him to get healthy and then bring him back because, I mean, he's an immediate help just because he knows the defense. Denard Wilson trusts him. I've talked to Denard about him last year when they brought him in here. He trusts him. And so, I mean, it's just another piece. It's not the end-all to be-all, but it's just another piece. And you guys have watched what they've been doing. We've talked about it off air. This year, this is a rebuild.
Yeah.
They're going to be constantly chumming this roster.
Yeah.
They're going to constantly chum this roster, so just get used to that.
Mac, it's also unique with a guy like Quandre Diggs, man. When you play in the league as long as he have, and some of these other guys that's been around, you find yourself with the small skill guys. Wide receivers play different positions on the field. Secondary, a safety may be a corner may turn into a safety. That's the uniqueness about having a guy like Quandre Diggs around. You can ask him to do multiple things because he's seen a lot, Coach.
Well, the other thing is he won't be surprised.
Yeah.
When you start putting the game plans in with him, it's different. I mean, when you put game plans in with rookies, it's a lot different than when you're putting game plans in with seasoned veterans.
Yes.
Because you can start talking to them 2 and 3 and 4 sentences ahead. He's. I didn't mean to hit that, Ramon.
No, Coach Mack. If you tear it up, you got fix-it money, Coach Mack.
I got money in my pocket.
I know. I knew that wasn't just the wallet. It was a bunch of cash.
So we're good here. You got sponsors up here.
That's right.
You got money all over.
We got friends in high places.
You got friends in high places.
Give me a little bit right here. I got my guy Aaron from students, baby.
It's just part of the American economy.
That's right.
It's a great thing
here. Absolutely.
No, but what you're asking is extremely important because veterans lend a little bit of settle to your team.
Yes, they do.
A little. Now, you still got to draft well. And this team's going to be a very young football team. We know that. There's going to be young players that are going to be depended on. But you sprinkle some season, but it has to be the right kind of vets.
Absolutely.
The vets have to be able to mentor these young guys, and they also have to be able to, if you got a vet in the room, you've got to be able to point to him and tell the young guys, watch him.
Watch him.
You
learn better from your peers.
Well, all the time because they're around them all the time, Ramon. Yep. I mean, I learned that really quick early on when I first went with the Bears. We had guys that were, accomplished players. And I would tell, my rookies, look, I can help you, but these guys can get you in settled quicker. So learn who to learn from.
Yep.
Mac, it's going to be interesting seeing how Todd Bowles will throw things at Cam Ward and how he responds to them. And
he can't see any more than he's seeing out here right now.
100%.
Now, it's going to be once we get to Minnesota, that third one. I mean, we saw what happened in Minnesota when we went up there and the way they practiced.
Right.
But look, this is trial by fire right now for Cam Ward, and he has to do it because I promise you, I got Sean Payton's number right here in my phone.
I know it.
If you want to call him and ask him not to blitz. I mean, because he ain't going.
I'm the rookie on the crew. I can try.
He's not going to do that.
No, Coach Mack.
So especially the first 2 weeks. He's not going to see any more than he's seeing right now, but you've got to learn how to take that.
Yeah, you do.
And it's hard lessons right now. Yep. It really is, because I'm sure when he looks at it, it looks like there's 14 people on the field, and people up there bogeying coming back. But that's life in this league because nobody else is going to take it easy on it. I spent a career trying to crush rookie quarterbacks.
Oh my! You take pride in it, Coach Mack.
Look, as soon as you see it, I mean, it's like, I mean, you zero in on it.
It is,
and you say, let's try it.
And that's why it was appropriate to bring some veteran presence in here on that offensive line, Coach Mack, and a guy like Kevin Zeiler. You bring in also Dan Moore. It's because there's a lot of pressure, and there's a privilege to it, Coach Mack. But when we speak about the protection of the young rookie, he hasn't seen a thing, Coach Mack, and y'all salivate on that on the defensive side.
Yeah, and it helps. It helps to have guys, and also Ridley. Ridley's seen a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
But all of that stuff helps, but you try to put. I've been in 2 rebuilds in my 31-year coaching career. Rebuilt the Cardinals. Went to the playoffs in the third year where they hadn't won a playoff game in 51 years. Man. But you got to draft well. But then you've got to. We had Jake Plummer. We put him under so much pressure early on that he'd come into my office and say, "Coach, you're killing me," and I say it's good for you.
I was going to say good. Yeah.
Rather it be me than your first opponent.
I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Well, this is the same type of a thing here, and you just because the learning curve for young quarterbacks now, Ramon and Will and our listeners, it's accelerated.
It is.
I mean, it used to be you draft a guy like this, and he'd have 3 and 4 years to soak it up.
Yeah.
You don't have that anymore.
No, that's on the clock early.
Got to go.
This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing, and they're going to see it for the next. They're going to see it for the next 2 weeks because I promise you, in Denver, we're going to see it.
It's funny, Mac, thinking about that, and Ramon and I had this conversation in the first hour of the show because Hugh Freeze at Auburn said one of the things they want to do at camp is he's told his defensive coordinator, DJ Durkin, to not go as hard as he can on his quarterback because he wants him to leave practice confident. That's not a thing in the NFL.
Well,
you don't want your quarterback leaving practice confident just because the defense went easy on you.
But see, the collegiate game is completely different.
So different.
It's completely.
You don't want that
different.
kind of transfer.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean that is completely different because the DNA for how do defensive coordinators make their name in this league, and how do they get head jobs? I know how I got mine. I mean, that one year that we turned the Cardinals around, we got 39 turnovers.
Wow.
39 turnovers. How many people you think I was bringing from everywhere?
Yeah.
Were we a great team overall defensively? No. But
you gave your
opportunistic. And we went. But defensive coordinators, and we're playing some top-notch defensive coordinators early.
Right.
Early in this season, and that's just life in the National Football League. I mean, it's driving on the highway in the National Football League. You're off the parking lot driving.
Yeah, no, seriously. That was brought up this offseason last season, Coach Mack, looking at the amount of turnovers this defense had then. And that's the point of, like, the conversation of who's winning early in training camp. I'm okay with how this team is situated, Coach Mack. The defense running it, because here's the thing about it. The offense, because it has so much newness and it takes longer to get it together, and you got a rookie quarterback, if they can steal defensively a few possessions, that's raking the ball out, which we've seen early in this training camp, Coach Mack. That's Cody Barton being good, middle of the field. That's going to get a guy like Quandre Diggs who's good in coverage, Coach Mack. This defense has to do more, in my opinion, this year than any expectation of what Cam Ward has.
Well, no doubt, and I tell you something else too, guys, that I mean it's just very, very true. The special teams got to help.
Yeah,
we've got to play.
Man.
We've got to play field metrics football. On special teams, with the. You tied up like a goat here.
I was kind of like a pit bull on a tree, Coach Mack.
Kirby Allen Kirby over here. It looks like he's herding goats.
That old junkyard dog.
How did you get tied up with that thing? That's one string coming down.
A junkyard dog on an old car, Coach Mack. That's what I was right there.
Anyway. We've got to play field position metrics.
Yeah.
And so it's not about the punter that we have now and the special teams coach we have now. I've been with them. I know what they do.
Yeah.
They cut the field in quarters. They cut it down. They pin people. They give you field position. I mean, I was with Brett Kern. Did y'all talk to Brett Kern when he was here?
I listened to him, Coach Mack.
Okay, look. And he and I talked. The numbers he has are vivid. And it's just striking how much field position makes a difference.
It is.
So Bones in the way that he's going to kick it is going to be extremely important too. There's got to be more. I mean, I know people talk about Cam Ward. It's got to be more than Cam Ward.
Totally. Coach Dave McGinnis brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Two Rivers Ford, a day early with us here on the show. Excited to hit the road with you this weekend. Going to have a good time.
I'll see you down there, Will. When you coming down?
I'm coming down Friday.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll
see
have
Friday night.
I'll have Tampa pretty well scoped out.
Yeah, you will, Coach Mack. You've been a time or two.
Well, you have too.
I've been there a few times.
Yeah, the last time we were in Tampa Bay, I was with Ramon, and we were going to go eat, and he said, Mac, where's it? I said, look, we've got a reservation, really nice place where we're staying. It's really close. He said, well, should we take an Uber? I said, no, you can walk. And then he said, I checked, and they said it's 1.1 mile. I'm taking an Uber, 0.1 mile.
Reading is fundamental.
True or not true?
You Ubered 0.1 mile?
The quickest ride I ever had. Quickest ride I ever had. Driver was a five-star rating.
I can't pull off that.
And it was a black car.
Of course it
pulled
was.
Up big, nice-looking black car for 0.1 mile.
0.1 miles. Like, reading Ramon is fundamental.
Coach Mack with us.
I'll miss Ramon on the road.
Mac, good to see you. I'll see you down there this weekend.
Okay, see you guys.
There's Coach Mack. More practice observations next on Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee as we continue in hour number 4. Streaming live at 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Practice is happening in front of us. Allen Kirby is making me very nervous, repositioning a tripod on a ledge with people beneath it, but I trust him. I trust Kirby with my life. Maybe not with the life of the tripod, but I trust him with my life. Tripod's probably more important than my life, to be fair.
Hey, Kirby, may the Lord be with him if it flies.
One-on-one's happening. That's right. It'll hit the ice cream truck all the way down there. One-on-one's happening in front of us. Offensive line working against pass rushers and defensive linemen to our right. We have 7-on-7. That is taking place. Ramon Foster, what have you seen from the Titans offensive line? What stands out over here to our left?
It's more competitive. I feel like these guys got plans this time around. What is this? A full week 2? If I was Femi, I would have gone inside right there on JC. JC is just lockout king right now, man. I got to give it to him.
Looking good.
The battle between Arden and Dan Moore has been solid.
Dan Moore looking better than he did last week.
He is, man. Staying in front of his guy. The other part of it is Dan Moore had a really good rep against Draymond Jones. I'm looking at the difference this week of Peter Skoronsky, Big Skull. Last week or last week of practice, I felt like he was getting on guys quickly, Will. And I was just like, that's a little different. And I said it looked like he was trying stuff out. Today, it actually looked like he's settling back and blocking his guys. And he's been A1. I got to give it to him. Zeitler, competitive as heck. It's been good on good, I feel like, more this time around.
Over in 7-on-7 to our right. Admittedly, we were watching more of the linemen, but we can tell you that Cam Ward found Elikai Manor in the back of the end zone for a low red zone score. And again, low red zone 7-on-7, a challenge for defenses. Perhaps a bit of an advantage for offense, especially in 7-on-7 when there's no pass rush. Ramon, we are about to see more low red zone work, and this is an opportunity for Cam Ward and the Titans offense to look better than it did last week, because this was a point of concern and a really challenging part of the weekend. They were not good in this exact scenario. We're going to see what they got for us today.
We spoke about that, man. Being able to close out. Being able to
Can we shift over so I can see that?
My bad. I was just like, my laptop? What's going on here, Will?
You're all good.
We were nonverbal communicating right there. We should have just been verbal.
Just use my words.
Yeah, use your words like we tell our young kids. Use your words. But this is where they got to be able to go score. 7-6s mean way more right here than the 3s with a team that's so young, Will. So here we go.
All right, Cam Ward at the gun. Ball is on the 10-yard line. First and goal, 11-on-11, low red zone for the ones versus the ones. Showing pressure. They bring 5. Cam over the middle. Pass caught. That is Calvin Ridley on a little drag route on the 5-yard line. Would have probably said that he would have broken a tackle and scored.
Yeah.
But they're not going to give that to him. That was really good job by Cam getting the ball out quickly, because a stunt on the right side had Femi Oladejo in his lap.
Yes, he did.
In a short amount of time.
And Cam's quick trigger got that ball out right there. To be quite transparent, really great stunt ran by the defense right there. Peter and Dan got to get on the same level. They spoke briefly real quick right after that play, man. That's something I saw them working on about 15 minutes ago. 2 twisting games up front, protecting it.
More of Cam. Second down and goal now at the 5 after a pickup of 5 on first down. Cam in the gun, takes the snap.
Good pro. Good
They bring
pocket.
4. Cam over the middle, checking down to the 2-yard line. Pass caught by Tony Pollard, who gets tackled at the end of the play. Literally, not just held up. Coaches won't love that. But again, good recognition of the blitz and good timing by Cam to get the ball out of his stinking hand.
Now, here we go. We got JC and Jeff doing a little back and forth, because Jeff ended up on the ground accidentally. Jeff threw his hands out. JC's talking back, saying, look, it wasn't on purpose, is what I would probably think they're saying. So this next rep is going to be very, very interesting.
Goal to go at the 2. Third play of the period for the Titans offense, 11-on-11 against the starting Titans defense. If this ball goes to the right, Ramon, you're going to tell me what happens. I'm blocked by a column. It doesn't. Left side, flat, touchdown, Titans. As Van Jefferson gets by Darrell Baker. A man beater in the low red zone, Ramon Foster, as the flat route to the bunch side, left side of the offensive set. The defenders get a little bunched up, get a little bit of traffic, and Van Jefferson's wide open for a walk-in score.
And just to revisit that, no chaos on that play right there. I did think Draymond Jones almost had JC on inside penetration right there. But with that being said, touchdown Titans, the way I look at that one. And on top of that, Will, I think we saw 3 straight passes. Well, the last 2 that we've witnessed, Cam's quick trigger is very beneficial when he sees this guy and break down the defenses. That pass to the flat right there to Van Jefferson for a touchdown was simply him getting it out quicker than the DB could recover. That is the quirk you're looking for from him.
All 3 throws in the low red zone for Cam Ward were accurate. They were quick. They were placed where they needed to be.
Yes, they were. Van Jefferson was able to just get upfield quickly right there.
Here is Brandon Allen and the Titans back up. Says Allen will throw it out right side. Ramon, who is that?
Tajay, forward catch, got up, tackled on the spot.
Thank you.
Really good job right there by linebacker Jones, 5'7". I have to get his name here in a second.
Number 57, the Titans linebacker Curtis Jacobs. 2024 UDFA with Kansas City, who spent his rookie year with New England last year.
So the eye doctor, Will, is what I feel like. I thought that was...
You saw Jay and went with it. I ain't mad about it.
I ain't mad. At least I'm in the vicinity, Doc.
That's right.
I'm 2020 plus.
I've got a big column that's blocking me from
Dude,
the right side of the offensive formation. No, you're fine.
Over here,
you're
man.
fine. I'm not going to be able to see all of it anyway.
Well, that's why you got the 6'6" guy over here.
That's right. That's right. If only I had 6'8" Ron Slay, right?
See, now the show's over. Show's over.
Here's Brandon Allen. 3-step drop over the middle. Got a man too high for Gunnar Helm, who had a step in the middle of the end zone. He was wide open, Ramon Foster.
You know who's going to have the most teeth-grinding film session today? Brandon Allen. That's been his story.
He's missed high a little bit.
He's missed high today.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about it, though, Will, they're available. They're open, though, too. So, again, Coach said he's looking at the technique of it all. Offensively, I felt like it was executed.
3rd and goal at the 10 for Brandon Allen once again. So they didn't give Tajay any yardage on the first play. And then you've got a miss from QB2 in the back of the end zone. They're going to go empty here. And the rookie wide receivers are on the left side, Aya Manor and DK. So here's Brandon Allen working against the Titans' backup defenders. 3rd and goal at the 10. Allen holds it, finds a man, caught at the 1. Julius Chestnut. I think they're going to blow him dead a yard short, even though I think with momentum, that's probably a touchdown.
Yeah, but Camp, they don't care about that.
Yeah, either way, a good throw to Julius Chestnut and Brandon Allen, who took time, found his guy, and delivered an accurate throw.
Yes, it was. A great rush right there also by at the end by Ali Gay. Was having some pressure. They're going to make him kick field goals, Will.
Okay.
So that series over for the Twos.
I think this is the 3s. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying for the Twos.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not going to actually kick it.
I wanted to see a 4th down play right there. Go for it, Will.
I got you.
Yeah,
Spoken like a true offensive player.
Listen.
Like, Coach,
listen.
We're 6 inches away. Let us just punch this thing in. That way on the whiteboard after practice it says 2s, touchdown.
We had our first middle school game last night, man. We're on the +1, Will. I'm like, go, Coach. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes.
I love it.
Absolutely, man.
All right. Ooh. Titans 11-on-11 again in the low red zone if you're just joining us. Final padded practice in Nashville for a couple of weeks before the Titans head down to Tampa Bay today for a joint practice with the Bucs tomorrow. Here is Tim Boyle rolling out right. Got a man. James Prochet. Oh, did he drop it at the last minute?
Off the ground.
Oh, James Prochet.
Bro,
nearly.
Come on.
Wide open.
Broski.
They let him.
Yeah.
Tim Boyle let him. Had to dive to get it. When the column blocked my view of it, I thought it was a touchdown.
No, it was.
He did not complete the process of the catch.
This is where I get mad at DBs getting up the incomplete. I'm
the
okay
sword
with him.
Symbol.
Yeah, do it right here. Okay, he dropped that one. He deserved to have the sword dropped on him. Prochet, you got to bring that in, my brother.
2nd down and 10. 2nd down and goal for the Titans 3s. Tim Boyle at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Pride of Eastern Kentucky, the former colonel. Taking the snap, flares it out left side to Khalil Mullings, who is bottled up quickly. And in space, Amari Burney, acquired via waivers from Las Vegas this offseason. The former Raiders 6th round pick with an open field stop with the Titans rookie back. 2-yard pickup, 3rd and goal at the 8.
So your point about these big backs, Khalil Mulling or Julius Cheswa, they get an opportunity in real games in the stadium to show if that is going to be a touchdown.
Yep.
If he can beat him to the flats, that's the uniqueness of preseason games, man.
And that is where, again, when Brian Callahan talks about it's vanilla, it's not real football, but it is a real game.
Yeah.
That is the difference in preseason and practice.
Yeah.
Is the fact that you get to show how hard are you to get to the ground.
No doubt.
Which is important in the sport, obviously. Here's Tim Boyle, 3rd down and goal from the 8. Pump fake, deep throw, right side, over the back of the end zone, incomplete.
He might have taken one to the chest
a
right
throwaway, yep.
Yeah. By the way, James Prochet paid his drop tax. Immediately after that, he came over here and looked like he did 10 to 20 push-ups. Tax must be paid, Will.
I like it. All right, so that is low red zone. Offense a lot better today.
A lot better.
Than it was last week.
It was, man.
And there's nowhere to go but up, but still.
But that's the progress that you want. The other side of this, too, is seeing this offense work in the flow instead of working in situations. The situations was tight red zone, punching it in. 1s and 2s had opportunities. The 3s did right there on the first play. Prochet could have brought it in. But the scenarios that you're presenting is because of all the things you saw last week. Cam going where he's supposed to. I didn't see much thinking out of him, Will. Mm-hmm. And then even on the Brandon Allen side of things, if he float that ball not float that ball, you're 2 for 2 in those situations right there, man. So good stuff, especially when you essentially got the 12th man, the end zone, also playing in your favor. So good stuff.
All right, let's go the other way. Ball on their own 35-yard line, moving right to left on the left hash mark. 1s versus 1s again. Here is Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami. In the shotgun set, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Tailback at his right hip. I guess that's fine. Cam gets rid of it, throws right side, pass caught. Clock moving. We're going situational here, Ramon Foster. That was a 10-yard pickup to Van Jefferson. Quickly back of the football in tempo, 1st and 10.
Minute 38 left.
Good on-time throw with the pocket collapsing there by Cam. Here's Cam once again. Quick left, caught again. Timing is a lot better today, Ramon. Chikakonkwo with a catch there at midfield.
Look at the lineman. Give him an extra yard right there. What are you doing?
Tempo again. Quickly back of the football. Cam Ward of the Titans offense moving right to left. Here's Cam, takes the snap, guns it right, incomplete, almost intercepted by Darrell Baker. Mm-hmm. Cam going window shopping against 2 deep safeties there to the right, and Baker in that flat did a nice job shuffling with Van Jefferson, got his right hand out there, almost made an Odell Beckham one-handed pick.
Yes, he did, man. Super unique situations just happened right now. The OG Zeitler just came out, and Jackson Slater just is now going in for some reps. And he's on the pitch count. We know that about an older guy like Zeitler, man.
First time we've seen Jackson Slater with the Titans once. Our friend Tony Keeley's going to be messaging us imminently.
Is. I know he's lighting a candle right now.
Here's Cam. 3-step drop, clean pocket over the middle, fires complete. Calvin Ridley right in front of Xavier Woods. Might have been blown up by Amani Hooker in a game setting, but we'll never know.
Amani punch right there to signify bring the stretcher is what I'm telling you.
Back of the shotgun set, 58 seconds left. Titans now on the plus side of the 35-yard line. Here's Cam.
Come on.
Pocket collapsing, throws it out left side. Tajay Spears caught inbounds.
Brownlee.
No gain. Brownlee with the stop. Clock moves.
Look like no timeout is being called right now.
42 seconds left.
Second
Bowens Fossil, our referee for this period as well. Of course he is. Here's Cam in the gun again. 2nd down and 10. 3-step drop over the middle. Batted down at the line. Arden Key
there it is.
Getting in the way of a pass intended for Tajay Spears, who was wide open in the middle of the field for at least 5 yards.
Yep. Again, Cam eyes got to see more. Notice who's rushing, how many are rushing. Arden didn't have much penetration right there. He's tired. So guess what he's going to do? Sit, watch, and try to bat a football down in those moments right there. Also, first rep for Jackson Slater. Guess what they did? Picked on the rookie.
Went right at him.
They ran right at him, man. He ended up on the ground right there because they ran a TE. Legs up in the air wheel is never good for an offensive lineman.
Cam Ward back at the gun. 3rd down and 10 with 31 seconds left in this period. Here's Cam.
Good pro.
Stepping
Good
up
pro.
in the pocket. Left side wide open. Tony Pollard making the catch. And he will get a first down. 10-yard pickup on 3rd and 10. Cam's pocket presence and timing, Ramon, today. Brian Callahan mentioned before practice that he's really liked the way Cam has responded to the weekend and to a couple of tough days. we are seeing that response in front of us today so far in practice.
And also, too, man, I got to do it because it was so bad last year. The string to finish by the big boys up front. Cam's able to escape and float around the way he is because they're finishing blocks. Man, pressure's one thing. Sack is another, and it looked like they were able to overcome that one.
Tight end left, couple of receivers out there. Ken, I can't be too specific. Yeah. Cam Ward with 23 seconds left in the half here. Ooh. Cam dropping back, pressure coming, rolling out right, fires to the sideline. Chimere DK with a nice toe tap catch at the 21-yard line. Clock stopped with 15 seconds left. And a good rollout there by Cam.
It's such a great place to be at. Ball complete.
Good block by J.C. Latham against Jeffrey Simmons there, too.
Again, finishing your blocks, man. Jeff had the ability to try to beat J.C. inside, and you know what he did? Beat him upfield. Also, the defense is gas. Do you hear me? This is where you eat.
Yes,
this is where you eat, man. Hold up, O-line.
This drive started a 2-minute drill with about a minute 40 from their own 35-yard line. The Titans' ones on offense are all the way up to the 21. They have only used one timeout. They have 15 seconds left in the half or end-of-game scenario, whichever one this is.
You say 21-yard line, too?
Yep, I did.
All right. I missed that one.
Here's Cam again on 2nd down and 6. Takes the snap, throws right. Got a man. There's Calvin Ridley inside the 10, down to the 9. 10 seconds left. This is surgical from Cam Ward, Ramon Foster.
And they're not subbing. Subs coming in. Okay, they can change now. D-line staying put. I'm actually shocked. I thought they'd bring a guy in right here, Will, just to get a better rush going.
Well, as you say that, here comes Draymond Jones in for Arden Key.
Look at Arden. Look at that trot.
Arden said, nah, brother, this is still August 6th. Really, really good drive here. Let's see if they can finish with a touchdown and not 3. 10 seconds for Cam Ward in the shotgun set against the ones of the Titans defense in this 2-minute period that has been excellent.
You can see, you can come over here if you need to.
I got you.
Okay.
Cam takes the snap, looks left, got Tyler Lockett. Touchdown Titans. Lockett beating Roger McCreary left flat. Roger almost punched that football out. Lockett kept it alive, waltzed into the end zone. That, Ramon Foster, is the best we've seen of Cam Ward at Tennessee Titans training camp.
With a BSF, back shoulder fade right there, man. Executed the way you needed it to be done right there. Again, the defense is going to argue Armani Hooker would have cleaned up the wide receiver over the middle. There's context to be added in this, but if they were counting it as it was, that was a very efficient 2-minute drill from Cam Ward and the offense right there. You saw what the tape wanted you to see as it pertains to him being the number 1 overall quarterback in that moment right there.
It is early. It is not a practice that is over yet, although it almost is. But a 2-minute drive from their own 35, under 2 minutes on the clock. Cam Ward marches the offense straight down the field for a touchdown throw to Tyler Lockett. That was miles different, Ramon, from what we saw from this offense late last week.
Absolutely. And then you're saying right now it's open field for the second teams right now. But, Will, that's how you cap it off.
It is.
You left no time on the clock for the defense, man, or for the opposing offense, and you live to put up 6 instead of 3.
Coming up, we will wrap up the show and wrap up the final events of practice. We do. One final break. More Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, coming up.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, man. My guys from Hiller were just out here at the Titans practice, man. Really good crew, really good people, man. I'm here to tell you this, man. I'll just start with that, man. They've been in business for over 35 years, and they're family-owned and operated, man. Their techs, we were just talking about them out here, man. They're very professional, experienced, and trustworthy, and they're all background checked and drug screened, too. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of that tech and a link to track them in real time, so there's no more wasting time waiting around. down. But if you do have a plumbing, heating, or HVAC issue, here's the thing about it, man. You want to trust somebody that's really good with it, that's going to solve your problems quickly. They're not trying to sell you something that you do not need, man. Their motto has been, happy you'll build, the service is free, and they absolutely mean that. So if you want to learn more about Hiller or to book with them, do like I do and visit happyhiller.com.
Wednesday morning, wrapping up the show on Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooters Coffee. A big day for the Titans offense. Been a minute since we have said that. Live from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Coming up, the Buck Rising Show is also here. Buck is present, as is Lucas, as is Bert, the stars of the show.
Supposed to have J.C. Latham on today.
Lovely.
With him. Yep.
Fantastic. You can tune in for that today. Ramon Foster, what has been your number one takeaway from today's practice?
The growth of the team in general and also the flow of the offense. Those two working hand in hand. Again, the defense didn't sub much at all right there. When the offense and when those ones versus ones went out of bounds, there would have been an interchanging of bodies at that point to put more fresh guys in. And I thought, of course, situationally watching specifically the ones and the twos, Will, what we saw, execute where it wasn't third down, where it wasn't just first down, where it wasn't just, hey, we're passing only or running only. When you're playing ball, you saw the production that you needed to see.
Titans 2s also went down for a touchdown drive. Xavier Restrepo with a touchdown catch over the middle from Brandon Allen.
I got to give you that credit on that one, too. Not that you're looking for it, but you said Xavier Restrepo has to be a guy that does well in stadiums.
He's got to be a gamer.
This is one of those situations, as we spoke about, where they're driving and you can't predict if it's run or pass,
sure.
And that's where he has to thrive.
A little bit more unscripted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The unscripted part of the game is where he's got to thrive.
Let's get another 3rd and 4 here for Tim Boyle and the Titans drive against a 4-man rush. Throws to the end zone, right side. Oh, what a catch. Maybe? No, incomplete.
No, incomplete.
James Prochet is holding up his arms thinking he got it. Diving catch on the right sideline in the end zone. And Bones Fossil, the referee, immediately waved incomplete. Good throw by Tim Boyle.
It was, but what you're seeing, though, Will, is the ball being in and around the vicinity. Like, that matters. That was a really good throw. Just bad. I mean, you could blame the wide receiver, say, well, get your feet down. We score. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be tedious about it.
I love it. So we're going to get a 4th down. They're not going to kick it here, man.
It looked like Coach Fossil loves this.
Oh, yeah.
Being referee.
Oh, he's the man.
You catch him at a YMCA gym is what I feel like. Saturday's referee.
Hey, call your own fouls. Here we go, fellas. Whose shirts, whose skins? All right.
No doubt.
Toss it up. Who got ball?
Doubt.
All right, let's go to one more for Tim Boyle. Blitz coming, 4th and short. Throw near side. What happens?
Caught, Will. Tipped and caught right there by 8-9. I think that's
Thomas Odakoya.
Yes. That was a great concentration right there. DB's had a couple of those today, man, where those double tips have gone to the wide receivers or tight ends.
All right, 28 seconds, 1st down. Tim Boyle takes the snap, pump fake, will check down over the middle.
Down to the 2.
Down to the 2-yard line.
20 seconds.
That is one of the backup running backs, Jamar Jefferson, as I start to see what number that is from down there. 10 seconds left.
Get to the line.
Barking out the signals. Boyle in the gun, 7 seconds, takes the snap, fade route near side.
Caught.
Touchdown.
8-3.
83. That is Matt Landers. So Ramon Foster today, the Tennessee Titans offense has gone 3-4-3.
Yes, they have.
The 1s, the 2s, and the 3s go 2-minute from their own 35-yard line. They all score touchdowns.
Defense gas.
And the defense is gassed.
There were no subs.
All right.
Which is context to it. But the finish of the drill, how you going to be pushed when you don't have any timeouts or offense keeps you on the field, that's what that scenario painted right there.
For the first time in a while, the Titans offense wins the day at Tennessee Titans training camp.
I would say all the way through they did.
I would agree.
Through. Yes, I would say so.
I would absolutely agree.
There were individual wins by guys. Like I said, I got to give context to it. Armani Hooker would have cleaned up the wide receiver coming across the middle right there. That's to be pointed out. Defense wasn't terrible. It's just that the flow of the offense, well, how the practice went, it went more offensive today.
All right, so a good response from the offense after a tirade from Brian Callahan got him ticked off enough on Sunday, I guess. Now they're going to run. Whole team.
I ain't seen.
How's this make you feel, Ramon?
Like I'm in college?
Not in the NFL?
No, NFL teams don't condition like this as much.
Sounds like the defense needs it, as exhausted as they were at the end of that 2-minute period.
I'll give grace to them because they play a position where you have to attack and run after every play. So they get more tired than the offense that has to pace itself. So that's my one time of the year.
There you go. Look at you giving the
August
defense
6th,
the benefit of the doubt.
2025.
9:53 a.m.
I was nice to them.
Mark it down.
Yeah, but it's good, though. It speaks on the expectation for this team, how young they are, too, to where you do conditioning still well. Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right. That's practice. That's Wednesday. Tomorrow they'll do it in Tampa. Saturday, they will take on Tampa in preseason football. Of course, the next 2 days we'll have more for you on that. We're going to head down, see who we can talk to after practice, and talk about tomorrow. But overall, a great day for the Titans offense.
It was. And even if you're sticking around for the Buck Rising show with Lucas Panzica and Robert Walsh, I don't know how much bad he can even tell you today, so you need to listen to him too.
Maybe Buck will actually have a smile on his face today.
Lucas, will Buck have a smile on his face today because it wasn't all bad?
Coming up next on the Buck Rising Show, why the Titans defense was awful today. That's next on 104.5.
That's why he got you, Lucas, man. You are the ray of sunshine in this thing, man. But remember, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot, baby.